good evening. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over the Arsenal Women's Channel. This is, of course, Matchday Live. It is Matchday 2 in the WSL. It is, of course, West Ham Women versus Arsenal. This is going to be a good game, this, isn't it? Can Arsenal make it 2 wins out of 2? Let's find out. So it is match day 2 from the WSL then. West Ham United versus Arsenal. It is, of course, from the Chigwell Construction Stadium in Dagenham. And these are your team lineups then for this big game tonight. So Arsenal then, this is how we line up. A couple of changes from last week. In goal, it's Daphne Van Domselaar. Back four, Emily Fox, Katie Reid, Steph Catley and Katie McCabe. In midfield, Kim Little, Mariona Caldente and Frida Marnham comes in. And then in the front three, it's Beth Mead, Caitlin Ford, and they are either side of Alessia Russo. So on the bench for Arsenal, it's goalkeeper Manu Zinsberger, Lotta Wubbenmoy, Taylor Hines, Leah Cadena, Kyra Cooney-Cross, Victoria Palova, Olivia Smith, Stina Blackstenius, and Anik Borba. So that is the Arsenal team then. A couple of changes. We'll come on to that very, very shortly. For West Ham, in goal it is Megan Walsh. Their back four is Anouk Denson, Shalina Zadorsky, Eva Neustrom, and Amber Sayek. In midfield, it is Una Siren, Katrina Gorey, and Verena Henshaw. And their front three is Rico, Yuki, Sakova, Martinez, and, of course, Vivian Asai. So what do we make of that Arsenal team? Obviously, a couple of changes. Chloe Kelly's not even in the squad, so we can only assume there's some injury there or illness or some issue there with her. And of course, Olivia Smith drops down to the bench. I did mention that in the show last night. I felt maybe in an away game we needed a bit more defensive stability in midfield, and maybe that's why Olivia Smith was on the bench. I'm not totally surprised by that. The rest of the team pretty much sort of is picking itself at the minute, isn't it? Brendan says no Chloe Kelly. No, I'm not sure why. If anyone knows, if anyone's heard anything about Chloe Kelly and her absence, then obviously please let us know, because yeah, I'm not really sure what's gone on there, if I'm honest. But anyway, if you know, Ryan's with us as well. How you doing, Ryan? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are doing well. LG says I'm not confident with that front line. Why is Beth starting? She's so frustrating. What is the reason for benching Liv so early in the season? Huge L from Renee. Well, let's see. I mean, I say I'm not totally surprised that Olivia Smith isn't in the starting lineup, just because it's an away game. And I don't know, I just felt that maybe we just needed a little bit more defensive solidity rather than a player who's very off the cuff and exciting to watch. So we should probably come on later, I'm sure. John says, I said last time out that Mead would start soon. Hope she has a good game. Yeah, I think we all hope she had a good game. 2 assists, of course, from the bench the other day, which is good, isn't it? Mead was great last time out. That's why she's back in. The issues she had before the break look like they've gone away. Let's hope so. Josie Buzz, Renee said she had a bit of a knock and wasn't fully ready to play. Well, I mean, it must have been today then, because obviously yesterday in her press conference, she said everybody was fit, didn't she? So that must be a late issue. But anyway, you know, it is what it is. We've got a great squad. And it is it's still a strong team. Yeah, I mean, not really too many other surprises, is there, in the lineup? I mean, Vicky Palou was obviously dropped down to the bench as well. And it is Frida Marnham, of course, who's come in for her. Matthew's with us. Hey there, my friend. Good to see you. Well, don't forget to get likes in early, guys, and then hopefully it'll mean we're going to get lots of goals, lots of Arsenal goals. Of course, we don't have any West Ham goals, do we? Well, of course, if you remember that game, of course, at Meadow Park back in, when was it? February, March time, when we were 2-0 down and 3-1 down. Of course, 2 goals from Amber Sayek, of course, the Belgian defender in that game. But we did come back, of course, to win at 4-3. We scored 3 goals in no time at all, didn't we, that particular day? But it's a bit different game. It's a ground where we haven't had much joy, have we, in recent years? It's been a bit hit and miss, for us. So yeah, let's hope that we can pull something out of the bag and get the win tonight, because it's definitely what we need. Does anyone know what Sky channel it's on? Because I can't actually find it. It's on the Sky Football channel. No, it's not, is it? It's not on Sky Mix because that seems to be Man City against Brighton. Does anyone know what Sky channel it's on? Matthew says it's called rotation. Mead still does her job. No, I agree. April said, "Oh, is it the Premier League? Sky Sports Premier League." Right. Oh, okay. Oh, I found it now. It was just confusing right here. Right, Sky Sports Premier League. It is indeed Arsenal versus West Ham. Thanks for letting us know that. Very, very helpful there. Thanks, guys. Colin says, have confidence in Renee's lineup. It's worked in the past. Well, no, I mean, I don't think too many of us doubt. I don't think too many of us doubt Renee now, do we? After what happened last season. But this obviously is a different game. Arsenal actually wearing that white and kind of purple kit for the first time, which is quite a cool kit, isn't it? I'm not keen on the collar, but the kit itself is very nice. And it's the first time that Arsenal have worn it, of course, this season. And let's hope it's going to be a lucky kit. John says that it's streaming on the Barclays Women's Super League. Oh, is it the YouTube channel? Oh, okay. I didn't realise that. We had a little problems with that channel last week, didn't we? It said it was streaming on and it didn't, did it? Anyway, we are just about to get off and underway here. West Ham, of course, in their claret kit, which actually looks like it's a bit of a clash because the shorts are the same. But anyway, I don't know why we couldn't have won blue, maybe. Anyway, it doesn't matter. West Ham are going to kick off. They're attacking the goal to our left here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium in Dagenham. My old stomping ground. I grew up around Dagenham. That was my local ground. I used to play a lot of time there watching football back in the day. West Ham go really long. And it's Steph Catley who gets that ball and the clearance hits a West Ham player. It's gone behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Or is it a throw? Oh, it looks like it's going to be a throw. Actually, I thought it was going out for a goal kick, but it's actually a throw, which Katie McCabe is going to take. I actually think that collar looks better on the women than it does on the men and the men's play. But anyway, that's obviously a matter of opinion. It is a nice kit. I do like us in a white kit. Actually, I just think it looks pretty cool. White and blue are two of my favourites. Obviously, yellow is the one that we all like to see, don't we? But I don't mind the third kit being blue or white, really. We've got both this season. We've got a blue away kit and this one as the third kit. Anyway, West Ham picking up possession in midfield. We know they're strong from set pieces. We know they're going to be a threat. But anyway, do you know what I mean? Joe says, evening all. No, Jenna B again. Why did Renee sign her? Well, maybe Renee didn't sign her. Maybe the signing was given to her. The managers don't always pick all the signings, do they? Oh, hang on. Loose ball here inside West Ham box. It's going to come to Leslie Russo. She couldn't quite go on the end of it. And in the end, West Ham managed to scramble it clear. It was a mistake at the back, actually. Now, Emily Fox coming forward on this near side, plays the ball back to Katie Reid, who recovered really well, didn't she? From that penalty against London City. Yeah, no, I replied to your message, actually. Didn't you receive it? Anyway, yes, I am here. And I did tell you I was coming on. Anyway, also coming forward over on this near side, the right. Emily Fox there finds Mariona Caldente having a little run at the West Ham defence, but she runs into a little bit of trouble and West Ham pick the ball up. We know they're dangerous, don't we, from set pieces? So the idea today is going to be to try not to concede too many corners and stuff like that, because what we don't want to do is give them any opportunities to cause us those problems that they did last season. We did, of course, win this particular fixture away, didn't we? 2-0. But that was a tough game, you know. It was a penalty, wasn't it, for Mariona to give us the lead, and then Rosa Kafaji, wasn't it, scored her first goal? Was it the other way around? Anyway, they were both kind of late on in the game, weren't they? And we've had issues here before. We drew, didn't we, 0-0 a couple of years ago. We lost 2-1 the season after that. Anyway, the ball's played forward up that far side, and Arsenal not really finding their passes particularly accurately in this early stages. We, of course, had problems, didn't we, at the start of the game at the weekend. And anyway, I was going forward. Now, that's better. And now Beth Mead, can she keep this in on this near side? No, she kind of just ran away from it there. And it is raining quite heavily in East London. And it looks like it is. Maybe it's not raining, actually. It looked like it was raining there on the side under the lights. Anyway, that ball there was overhit and Beth couldn't quite go on the end of it. Getting her a chance back in the starting lineup, of course, tonight. Had a big impact, didn't she, off the bench on Saturday. Those 2 assists and the substitutes all made a big impact in that particular game. And I'm sure they will again, because we've still got a very, very strong bench with some great players on there. You know, West Ham now plays the ball out. Megan Walsh, the goalkeeper, plays it up that far side. And West Ham looking to try and come forward for the first time in this game. It's gone out for a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Looks like it's a big crowd in tonight. It looks pretty packed most of the ground actually, which is good to see, isn't it? You know, the bounce on winning the Euros as well maybe has played a part as it did a couple of years ago. And of course, we've managed to build on that, haven't we, with the crowds that we've managed to get over the last 2 or 3 seasons. Incredible. And now, of course, the Emirates is our main home, and most of the games are going to be played there this season. The odd cup game will go to Meadow Park, but I don't think it'll be too long until it's just the Emirates for both teams, and that's how it should be, shouldn't it? And Arsenal are a big enough club, champions of Europe. I mean, if we can't fill the Emirates on a regular basis or fill it enough to justify playing there, then what chance has anybody else got? Anyway, Arsenal are coming forward now on that far side. In fact, there's a free kick. It was Katie McCabe was fouled, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. 4 minutes played, still no goals, no real goal-mouth action yet. The game just kind of settling down, and both teams just maybe feeling each other out a little bit. I'll say Arsenal haven't had too many good results here. Definitely Van Domsel. Oh, that's a bit of a loose ball actually, and West Ham are going to pick this up over on the far side, but Arsenal win it back. Now we can maybe come forward ourselves, but that's a poor ball forward again actually. And Arsenal a little bit sloppy again. Oh dear, and West Ham now clear over on that far side. This is nice play actually. There's a little bit of space. What's the cross like? It's not a bad cross actually. And Daphne Van Domselaar. Oh, she's dropped it into her own net. Daphne Van Domselaar with a terrible, terrible mistake. And from out of nothing, West Ham have scored. It was a cross over on that far side. And is it because the ball's wet? I'm not quite sure. I don't even know who's going to be credited with that goal. To me, that's an own goal from Daphne Van Domselaar. And Arsenal, once again, for the second game in a row, find ourselves 1-0 down early on. And again, it's a bit of a defensive disaster. We've given the ball away twice in the build-up to that. And the ball's played out to the far side. I think it's Uki there with the cross. And, she let it slip through her hands. He hit the back of the post and then hit her and went in. That was really poor all round, actually. We gave the ball away. Really poor play. And actually, no, it wasn't. It was it Asai with a cross? And it's been dropped by Daphne Van Domselaar. Simple cross there to catch it was. It slipped through her hands. It's hit the back of the post and then hit her arm and gone in. It's definitely an own goal. And wow, what a terrible start it's been for Arsenal. A terrible start for Daphne Van Domselaar as well. I seem to remember it wasn't that the game against West Ham when we won 4-3 where she had a terrible game as well. She plays really well until we play West Ham, and then it seems to all fall apart for her. Anyway, Raya says, must be the water. Yeah, LG says, Manuela Van Domselaar. Yeah, well, maybe. Jacob said that the defence needs to tighten up. Yeah, absolutely, the defence needs to tighten up. Yeah, that was terrible. John says that was a freak slipping to the net. Yeah, it was. Absolutely, it was a freak. It is raining, actually. I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, it was a freak, but unfortunately, when you're a goalkeeper, every single little mistake you make is going to be costly, isn't it? And poor old Daphne. But let's remember, Katie Reid made a bad mistake early on in the game on Saturday. She recovered, and let's hope that Daphne recovers as well. When Arsenal got a corner at the other end, the conditions there are terrible, actually. Wind and rain, not ideal for anybody, but especially goalkeepers. Anyway, Katie McCabe's corner all the way to the far post, headed back in, and it's bouncing around inside the West Ham penalty. It's going to be another corner. A good delivery that was. Royston says, don't panic, lots of time to go. Oh, absolutely, yeah, loads of time to go. We were behind on Saturday, wasn't we, for a while before we turned it round. But this is a ground where we've generally struggled at in recent years. So, you know, it's not ideal, is it? Jacob said, I'm not panicking, but second game we're 1-0 down indeed. Colin said, I said it was DVD's distribution that would let us down, not a handling. Well, yes, exactly. And that was really poor, really, really poor. But of course, the good news is there is plenty of time left. We don't need to panic. There's still, well, we've only played 7 minutes, so you know we don't need to worry too much yet, do we? But it isn't a great start. It isn't what we wanted, is it? We wanted to. I said the other night we want to get ourselves in front, score first, and then we can settle down. Whereas now, you know, West Ham's a difficult team to play, and that's their first goal of the season actually, and they've not even scored it themselves. They're coming forward again. Martin is looking to get in behind. But Katie McCabe's there, plays it back to Daphne Van Domselaar, and her clearance actually comes off Martinez. She's still looking a bit shaky, not maybe recovered from that from that poor mistake there. LG says, we talked last night about us often starting. So we did, yeah. It's happened again. It happens under Renee. That's the one thing you've got to say. It's happened far too many times. We start games really, really poorly. Now, is that down to preparation? Is it down to, well, I don't know. Is it down to mentality? Is it down to attitude? I'm not sure. Anyway, Lee says, come on, you gunners, you can do it. Yeah, of course we can do it. But yeah, we can't keep starting games like this. We just can't. John says, I think DVD was caught out by the slippery ball. No, you're right. Maybe, and also as well, maybe the floodlights and stuff like that. I don't know. But anyway, it's a terrible mistake, and we can't excuse it. We have to accept what it is. It was a bad mistake. And it's not often that she does stuff like that, Daphne, is it? So, you know, we're not going to, crucify her for it. But yeah, she knows it's a bad one. And she needs to, what she needs now is the next cross to come in. She needs to do something good, make a good catch or whatever it is. And then hopefully our confidence will come back. But it is an absolutely terrible night for weather there in that little part of East London where I'm from. Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal on this near side. And now it's Beth Mead. Chips the ball in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Not a very good clearance. Only comes to Katie Reid. And she plays it square to Steph Catley. Arsenal starting to, a bit like we did on Saturday, went a goal down and suddenly we started to raise it a little bit. And we're going to have to raise our game here. Because so far, West Ham have looked fairly comfortable. Okay, the goal was gifted to them, but we've not done anywhere near enough. I know Beth Mead does really well on that near side, wins the ball back and then wins the throw as well. And now Emily Fox is going to take on this near side, Arsenal's right. And Kim Little plays the ball back to Steph Catley, exchanges passes with Mariona Caldente. Now Kim Little again chips it forward. It wasn't a very good ball, actually, but Leslie Russo's almost tried to make something of that. And in the end, she was offside anyway, and it wouldn't have counted if she'd managed to get on the end of that and get a shot away. But it's been quite... I still don't like that collar on that shirt, by the way. I'm sorry, I don't. But anyway, apart from that, it's very nice. I'd cut that collar off and make it more look like this collar. Not that this collar is that great either. I prefer like a little V. But anyway. Yeah, not a great start this from Arsenal, has to be said. We did, of course, beat West Ham in a pre-season friendly at Meadow Park. But this is the real thing. This is when it matters. And we need to find a way to win this game because, well, we said last night, didn't we, on the show, that we need to put some pressure on Chelsea early in the season because the last couple of seasons in particular, we've been playing catch-up and you're never going to catch them from behind. We need to start well. We need for them to drop points and let them chase us. And obviously, this is not the best start, is it? We've only played 11 minutes, so we don't need to worry. Don't panic, guys. We've got plenty of time, so don't worry. You know, West Ham playing some good football here, actually. A ball played forward into Martinez, holds it out well. Can't quite get it out to that far side, though. And Katie McCabe strides forward over on that far side. Oh, I don't have an out. I apologise. Joe says collar has too big a gap between the tips, needs a friend. Yeah, something like that'd be nice. Yeah, I don't like that collar at all. It really ruins that shirt. Actually, it's such a shame because it would have been really nice. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Obviously, they've got designers at Adidas, right? And most of the Adidas stuff is pretty cool. I love Adidas gear, but they've definitely made a mistake there. I don't know how they approved that and thought that looked good. I don't know who thought that looked good because it looks terrible. Which is, I say, because the rest of the shirt's actually really nice. But there's no way I'd buy that with that collar. I couldn't deal with it. I remember us having a shirt like that once in the 1990s, I think it was, like a blue away kit. Had a similar collar, which I hated as well. And I ended up cutting it out with scissors. So it just looked like this. I'll probably do that with that one, but I'm not going to get it because, no. They've made a mistake there. I'm sorry, Adidas. You've definitely messed up. Anyway, West Ham's coming forward now on this near side. It is West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. An own goal from Daphne Van Domselaar after just 4 minutes. And now West Ham coming forward. They've got a lot of space here over on that far side. In fact, they haven't because the offside flag is up and that saves us there. It was Uki there, the Japanese forward, just got herself into an offside position. And that was just as well, actually, because she had loads of space there to run into. attacking that Arsenal penalty area, and that could have been a problem for us. I mean, we were 2-0 down and 3-1 down against West Ham in the last game that we played against them in the WSL before coming back to win 4-3. But we can't keep doing stuff like that. In fact, we can't keep going 1-0 down in games and keep getting away with it. We just can't keep doing it. We've got to start better. We've got to get ourselves in front, and we can't keep playing like this in the first 15, 20 minutes of games. We just can't. It's just too sloppy. Why do we start games so badly? And I say that's not just now. This has been going on for a while. I mean, last season, there was a lot of games under Renee where we started badly, and, you know, it wasn't easy then, was it, to come back and win games. And in the end, our forward quality shone through. Our substitutes came on and make a difference, and we was getting results. But we can't keep doing it, can we? We've got to start better. We've got to be focused right from minute one. And we just don't seem to be, do we? I'm not sure if that's a preparation issue that maybe the manager and the coaching staff need to look at. We just got caught out again, and Martinez coming forward. Got a lot of goals, of course, towards the end of last season, and looking to get another one here. But Arsenal managed to deal with that threat just about. And now Emily Fox is in possession, finds Katie Reid, and she touches it back to goalkeeper Daphne Van Domselaar, and it's her mistake, of course, that gifted West Ham that early goal. Anyway, Katie Reid brings the ball forward, plays into midfield to Beth Mead. This is nice play from Arsenal. Now there's a bit of space here on this near side. Leslie Russo, can she get there? No, she can't. Good defending there from West Ham. But that was the best football Arsenal have put together so far in this game. Anyway, let's go play again on this near side. Drill the ball in there from Frida Marnham, it was. And in the end, it's been deflected behind. It's going to be another corner to Arsenal. We're just starting to grow into the game now. And we need to get our forward players more involved because they just haven't really got in the game yet, have they? Joe says that Mariona has got caught 3 times. Yes, she has. She hasn't actually had a particularly good start to the season because I didn't think she was great at the weekend, actually. Anyway, we have got a corner again. So let's hope that we can produce something better from this corner here. Steph Catley's in there, Leslie Russo's in there, Frida's in there. It's going to be Katie McCabe again with this corner from this near side in swinger, swings in towards that far post, and it goes all the way across. Going to come out to the edge of the area, is it? No, it doesn't quite reach Beth Mead. West Ham scramble it away. And now they can maybe try to catch us on the counter-attack, but that wasn't a great ball forward and easily dealt with. You know, West Ham have got quite a physical approach in midfield so far this evening, and it's paying off for them. 16 minutes played. It is still West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. It was after about 25 minutes or so that we started to come together for us at the weekend. So we're getting towards that kind of part of the game now. Obviously, we need to be doing better. But yeah, at least we've looked a little bit sharper in the last few minutes. Anyway, it looks as though Brighton have scored away at Manchester City tonight as well. And is that Frank Kirby? It is Frank Kirby who scored for Brighton against Man City. So 2 slightly shock results so far tonight. Anyway, it's very early days still. Anyway, Arsenal now coming forward. Frida Marnham chips one towards the goal, but I think she's miskicked that. That was meant to be a cross, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to West Ham. And another poor execution from Arsenal there has cost us the opportunity to get a shot away. But Man City losing at home to Brighton, well, that's a bit of a shock, isn't it? It would be if it finishes like that. As I said, there's a lot of time left. But let's not worry too much about other teams dropping points while we are still dropping points at the moment. And I say this has been a ground where we found goals hard to come by as well. It's not like it's a place where we've gone in recent years and won easily, because we haven't. We tend to struggle to score, don't we? And we've dropped points here before. I say twice in the last 3 seasons we've dropped points here. 0-0 draw, 2-1 defeat. A couple of 2-0 wins as well, but it's not going to be a 2-0 win tonight, is it? We're going to have to dig ourselves out of a little hole that we've created for ourselves, well, mainly by Daphne with that terrible mistake. Colin says it will take us a goal to play better like last week. Maybe it will. Or maybe not even just a goal, maybe just some... I mean, obviously, the goal from Olivia Smith on Saturday turned the game, but more just a spark. something to happen, so some player to do something special, maybe a shot that's saved by the goalkeeper or something just to spark us into life. It don't necessarily take a goal. It'd be great to get a goal. We've got a corner now, so maybe we can get something here, which would be quite good. Anyway, the corner comes in. It's played short. The cross comes in towards the far post. It's over here and it hits the post behind the goal. It was Mariona again. She's not had a very good start to this game. She's a cool score on this ground last season from the penalty spot. Joe says, what we're missing with Reed tonight is Leah's forward vision. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's particularly, I don't think it's particularly fair to pick out Katie Reed for that. I just think Leah Williamson's all-round play is, we're obviously going to miss that because she's such a great player. And that's nothing against Katie Reed. And Katie Reed's playing well. She's playing well tonight so far. She played well the other night. She's on the ball now defensively and does well, and it's a throw to Arsenal. But yeah, we just missed Leah Williamson anyway. And we're always going to, wasn't we? Let's be honest. We knew we were going to miss Leah Williamson when we knew she was missing for the first few weeks of the season. And we've just got to try and, find a way without her. That's what great teams have to do. That's what, we've got a squad now. We've got great players. We have to find a way when players are not available. Chloe Kelly tonight, of course, another player that's really important for us. Not available, so you just got to find a way to still get a result, haven't you? You can't just make excuses of players missing. Oh, we're missing this player, we're missing that player. Yeah, we are, but we've got to find a way around it. We've got to find a way to compensate for that and play a slightly different way and adapt and everything else. But anyway, Katie Reed now is in possession, plays it back to Daphne just outside the Arsenal penalty area. 20 minutes played on the clock. It is West Ham 1, Arsenal 0. And it's Katie Reed again. Thought about a long ball, instead plays it short up this near side. That is a long ball though from Emily Fox. Oh, that's a good ball actually. Leslie Russo's going to get on the end of this up this near side. Holds it up well, looking for a bit of support. She needs a bit of support. Beth Mead's gone inside the penalty area. Can she get the shot away? Forced into Frida Marnham. A shot on the turn and it's in. And Arsenal are level. We wasn't behind for very long. And Frida Marnham scores for the second game in a row. And that is why she is in the team. That's what she brings. Frida Marnham gets on the end of it there. It was Beth Mead with another assist. That's 3 assists for her this season already. And that was a really, really well taken goal. A shot on the turn from Frida Marnham. And maybe the goalkeeper, Megan Walsh, could have done better there. It seemed to be quite close to her. Maybe she was caught out with a sort of speed of the shot, really, because she shot very, very early. Joe says, Frida, come on, well done, Mido. Frida Friday says, Ryan, goal. Michael says, Frida. Matthew's all smiles. We're all smiles again. Colin said, now we start playing. Yes, I think now we might well see a different Arsenal. Matthew says, Frida Marino. Yeah, because that was mentioned last night on the show, the comparison between Frida Marnham and Mikel Marino, which I don't know, but anyway, she's popped up there another important goal, Frida Marnham, and it is Arsenal 1, West Ham 1, Arsenal 1, and that was just what we needed. We hadn't really created too much. And is that going to be a bit like what happened on Saturday when we hadn't played particularly well for 20 minutes? We were 1-0 down and got a goal out of nothing, fantastic goal, and we went on and dominated the game. Is the same going to happen tonight? And if it does, that's fair enough. But we're going to have to start asking the question at some point. Why are we starting games so slowly? Anyway, Beth Mead has got the most assists in WSL history with 52. That's 11 ahead of Lauren Hemp. So she's just increased that by 3 already this season. So Beth Mead is an absolute legend. And yes, I still don't think she's quite in the form that she was a couple of years ago before her injury. But, she's still a very, very good player, and she still makes things happen. She still scores goals. She still creates goals. John says double nutmeg goal. Yeah, well, it was a double nutmeg goal. Yeah, it was a great finish on the turn from Frida Marnham, and that's what she does. That is what she does. I'm not saying Frida's the greatest player in the world, because she's not, but she's very, very good at what she does. She knows where to be. She gets herself on the end of things. Little Cubby says, how can anyone say Beth shouldn't still be at the club? I think it's more the fact that, she's not as good now as she was before her injury. And obviously age is against her. it happens to everybody. I don't necessarily think she should leave the club. I'm pleased that she's still here, but the way that the squad's growing, and I can see, actually, she just won the ball back. She's actually really playing well, and I'm not surprised she's playing well. But I've got a feeling this could well be her last season. Anyway, Beth again on the edge of the box. That's a good cross to the far post. Nobody there, or that would have been 2-1 to Arsenal. I agree with you. Beth should be at the club, and I'm glad she's still here and she's playing well. And maybe she's got a little bit of a point to prove. The fact that, she wasn't in the England starting lineup for most of the Euros. She had to come off the bench. She's not been in the Arsenal starting lineup. And she's probably only in the Arsenal starting lineup tonight because of that injury to Chloe Kelly. And West Ham give the ball away, and Arsenal couldn't quite make the most of that. Mariona was maybe caught out the fact the ball was fired into her so quickly and she wasn't expecting it. And West Ham trying to come forward over on that far side. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal, is it? Surely. But no, Beth certainly started this game well. But yeah, I think we would all love to see the Beth from a couple of years ago, wouldn't we? Again, but I just think age is against her now, and she's obviously reaching towards the end of her career. So I think she's got one more season in her, and I actually wouldn't be surprised. And this might not please a few people necessarily, but I can see at the end of this season, I think she'll go back to her northeast and she'll go to Newcastle with Jordan Nobbs. I think that's where she'll end her career there. And they may well be in the WSL, of course, next season as well. Newcastle, they've invested heavily in their team, and they started the season with a win as well in the WSL 2. A little cubby says might be, but I hate the haters. Well, no one. I don't think it's haters so much. I just think people get a bit frustrated. Form's not as good. Beth Mead again with a cross. That's another good cross. Goalkeeper Megan full stretch there. Megan Walsh. And in fact, there's a free kick. Was it offside? Another good ball actually from Beth. You have to say that Beth is having a great game here tonight. And I think she's got. I think an angry Beth, a Beth with a point to prove, is the best Beth, isn't it? She seemed to play with quite a lot of anger in that spell a couple of years ago when she was just, either side of the Euros of 2022, and she was absolutely fantastic. And she seemed to be playing with that anger and that fire in her belly. And and that's what she seems to have at the minute, because I think she knows she's got to fight for her place in the team now for Arsenal and for England. And that's what you want to see, don't you? It's good when you see players that are really fired up. Anyway, Arsenal playing some neat and tidy football, but not really going anywhere. And in fact, giving the ball away, but it is actually a free kick. It was Mariona again, actually. John says, Beth looks a lot better last game than this one. 3 assists already. I think she's getting back to her best. Time will tell, but her killer passes are back. Yeah, obviously the Champions League final, she got that assist as well. Anyway, Leslie Russo over on that far side. Arsenal looking to try and turn this game around. Katie McCabe now over on that far side, plays it into Mariona. I think that wasn't a great ball for Mariona. She's having a really poor game, actually, Mariona. We're not going to worry too much about her form. A great player. She hasn't had a great start to the season. Is it a little bit of a hangover from the Euros, of course, with Spain losing that final on penalties? Who was it that beat them? Can't remember. Anyway, and of course, player of the season last year in the WSL. So we know she's going to come back. But yeah, just a little bit of a flat start to the season for Mariona. Anyway, she's on the ball now inside the centre circle, playing a bit deeper where she can technically dictate the play. She's just not been really doing that particularly effectively in these first 2 games. Well, 1 game and 27 minutes. Beth Mead again does well, gets that ball out to the far side. Caitlin Ford. Not seen too much of Caitlin Ford so far. She's on the ball now. Another player that had a big impact from the bench at the weekend. Mariona plays out to that far side. And Arsenal still looking to turn this game around and get ourselves in front. This is nice play. Katie McCabe chips the ball forward, looking for Caitlin Ford, but it's going to run behind. Or is it going to run behind? Caitlin Ford almost got there, actually. It didn't look as though she was going to get there. Royston says, I told you not to panic. No, we wasn't panicking. But again, I think this is a goal again. It was Emily Fox found Beth Mead. Oh, no, this was a cross before where the goalkeeper dropped. I'm not quite sure what the whistle was blown for there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That was ages ago. West Ham now trying to bring the ball forward, but Katie Reid wins that header. Katie Reid gets it back again. That's with Steph Catley. Plays it up that far side. Katie McCabe it's all Arsenal now, very much like Saturday's game. We get ourselves level, as Colin said, and we suddenly kick into gear. We're playing a lot better now than we were in the first 25 minutes or so. Katie Reid touches it in to midfield. Kim Little there stretching. Couldn't get hold of that ball. And the midfield's not quite clicking, is it? I don't think Kim Little's been at her best so far this season. Oh, and suddenly, though, West Ham got a chance in behind here. Uki inside the box. Can she get away from Katie Reid? She gets the cross into the far post, but it's gone behind. It's going to be a goal kick. Yeah, the midfield doesn't seem to be quite combining very well. It doesn't seem to be linking properly together, does it? Marion has been a bit off form. Kim Little's not been at her best either so far. And it's created a few problems. And, you know, there's similar problems to where we kind of spoke about, didn't we, just before the season started? Transition, when we lose the ball, defensive shape isn't great, and I don't think that midfield pairing is really working. As much as we didn't necessarily enjoy the Kim Little Leah Volti double pivot, if you like, a bit too negative and defensive, it was quite effective, wasn't it? And we need to find a solution to that. We spoke last night, didn't we? Kyra Cooney crosses, is she the answer? Vicky Palova, is she the answer? I'm not sure Mariona is. Although when she's a bit deeper, she can maybe try and impact the game more. I like to see her a bit further forward. I think that's where she's best, in the number 10 position, possibly, or out on the left-hand side. But, yeah, I don't really feel that position now is, I suppose you could call it a number 6 where she's playing, or maybe an 8. It doesn't really seem to suit her, does it? Anyway, Brighton are still leading at Manchester City. Fran Kirby with that goal for Brighton, who have got some decent players. They've got a decent team. And, of course, they've got our very own Michelle Edgemang as well. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now on this near side. Beth Mead plays it back into Emily Fox. And, it's a good tackle there, actually. It's going to be another corner to Arsenal. We are piling on the pressure now. Michael says Caitlin Ford needs to get into the game. Yeah, she's hardly had a kick, has she? She's literally hardly had a kick. John says we've been getting a lot of corners, but all been rubbish so far. Yeah, they've not been great. They've not been great corners, have they? They all seem to be going over hit to past the far post. And whether that's a tactic, I'm not sure. But it's not worked, has it? It didn't work against London City Lionesses either, when it was a similar story. Most of those corners seem to go long. Anyway, we've got another corner now. Opportunity to get this ball back into the box. Again, it goes deep towards the far post. Headed back in again by Katie Reid, I think it was. West Ham scramble it clear. And again, another corner, a bit predictable. Nothing really coming from it. And that's been the story. I mean, maybe we need the men's set-piece coach to coach the girls. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again inside the box here. Leslie Russo, can she get the cross in? She does, and Beth Mead was trying to get on the end of it, cleared away. Not very far. The shot comes in from Mariona, and it's gone quite a long way wide, actually. And that kind of sums up Mariona's night and maybe her season so far. Joe says there, Mido player of the match so far. Yeah, no, I think she is player of the match so far, yeah. But that was a terrible effort there from Mariona. And it's still West Ham 1, Arsenal 1. We've played 31.5 minutes here at Dagenham. And Arsenal have actually scored both the goals, even though it's 1-1. Of course, Daphne Van Domslaar's own goal very early in this game. It was a poor start from Arsenal anyway. And that obviously goal didn't help, did it? Anyway, we've settled down now. We've won the ball back. Or we actually haven't won the ball back because that's given us a free kick. I didn't think there was too much wrong with that. But anyway, the referee disagreed. It is a free kick to West Ham. And we're coming up to 32 minutes played. And it's been, I wouldn't say it's been a spectacularly exciting game, but it's certainly been an interesting game. I think West Ham have played pretty well. They look a half-decent team. And I think that's the story of the WSL at the moment, isn't it? All the teams have improved. You don't really get easy games anymore. You've got to be at your best to get a result. You can't afford to take it easy in any game. You've got to turn up and play well. And West Ham are typical now of, the rest of the WSL. Obviously, we know Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal are the top teams. But West Ham, one of those teams in that middle bracket, if you like, that on their day can cause problems for anybody. Brighton, another one who are beating Man City currently, Aston Villa. All these teams, they're good teams now, aren't they? And they can potentially take points off the top teams. On a more regular basis. It used to happen occasionally, but now you feel it can happen a lot. Beth Mead again. She's having a great game. She's driving the ball forward. She's got Katie McCabe outside over on that far side. She finds Katie McCabe. Can she get the cross in? She does get the cross in towards the far post, but it's gone behind for a goal kick. And again, Beth Mead. Most of the good Arsenal play in the attacking sense is coming from Beth Mead. She is having a great game. Colin says Mariona hasn't got overscoring in the Euros and ended up losing. Must have been difficult to take. Yeah, maybe. I'll say she hasn't looked herself this season so far. We've seen it before, haven't we? With when you look back to the last Euros, a lot of the Lioness players who had played in that. Oh, it's Beth Mead again. She's on a mission tonight, Beth, isn't she? And that was a good ball actually to Frida Marner, but she let it run past her and West Ham can clear it away. But Beth is certainly having a great game tonight. And now Kim Little driving the ball forward. But again, she takes too long and is caught out. And now West Ham trying to build an attack with some neat and tidy football. But that wasn't a good ball forward. Katie Reid reads it well. And yeah, you saw, didn't you, in the last Euros, Euro 2022, some of the Lioness players didn't start that next season, particularly when we won the tournament. I think sometimes coming down from that can be quite tough. It can be quite tough. I don't think Leslie Russo's had a great start to the season either. And obviously Leah Williamson's injured. LG says Ford is missing. Liv should get on straight after half time. No, I think I've mentioned Caitlin Ford's name once or twice, and we played 35 minutes. That goes to show how quiet she's been. But I'm not just necessarily blaming her. Most of our attacks have come down the right. Have come down down the right hand side with Beth and Emily Fox. That just seems to be the way that this game's gone. So she's not really got the ball. And if you don't get the ball, if it doesn't come your side of the pitch, there's not much you can do, is there? So I don't necessarily blame her. Yes, she maybe needs to try and get herself involved more, but I think the team needs to try to get her involved more. And that's maybe something that we can look at. But yeah, she's been pretty much anonymous. And Kim Little's just giving the ball away again, but does win it back. In fact, she doesn't win it back because the referee's now given a free kick. And again, that was poor. I think Kim Little and Mariona Caldente have been our worst two players in this first 35 minutes, actually. And I say that wasn't much different to the weekend either. Anyway, we have got ourselves level, and to be fair, we've looked the much better team since we scored, certainly, and even in the maybe build up just before. Joe says Mariona looks uncomfortable and unhappy in this deep role. Yeah, it doesn't suit her, absolutely not. We said that after the weekend, didn't we? West Ham got a free kick here, quite central, midway inside the Arsenal half. That's why he chips in towards the edge of the box. It's flicked on by Martinez, but it's drifted wide of that far post. And that was a rare opportunity for West Ham in this game. It was a nicely floated free kick, always quite difficult to defend, and Martinez got a head on it, but she wasn't able to direct it on target, and it's drifted wide. In fact, since Daphne made that mistake after 4 minutes, she hasn't had anything to do, really, apart from a few clearances up the pitch like she's just done there. She has had to make a save. West Ham haven't put on any pressure, which is what you want to do, wouldn't you? If you've just seen your opposition goalkeeper make a really bad mistake, you want to get some shots in, put them under pressure, because, goalkeepers are a bit like that, aren't they? They make one mistake and you put them under pressure, they could make another one. But anyway, luckily, West Ham haven't been able to do that. And they've not had a shot. Well, you could say they've not really had a shot on target, because their goal was a cross that wasn't even on target, and it was an unfortunate own goal. But no, I agree with Joe. I don't think Mariona does look particularly comfortable in that deeper role, which makes it even more. It makes it more frustrating when you look at the fact, that on the bench we've got at least two players who are more suited to that position. And you can't accommodate a player in a position that's not going to bring the best out of them when you've got players on the bench who are more suited to that position. I'm referring to Kyra and Vicky. They can both play that deeper midfield role much more naturally than Mariona can, and it give Mariona a chance to get further forward, maybe in Frida's position. But of course, Frida's got herself another goal. But this is the beauty of having a big squad, I suppose. But what you've got to do is you've got to sometimes make big decisions if it means leaving out certain players because maybe the system or that particular game doesn't suit it, and sometimes you've got to do that. Or you've got to say, right, okay, Mariona's best position is number 10, so that's where we're going to play her. It's pointless playing her in a position we're not going to get the best out of. And also coming forward again, and one player we have got the best out of, certainly tonight, is Beth Mead, and she was fouled there, and now she's holding her face or side of her head. over on this near touchline. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but anyway, I'm sure she's going to be okay. I mean, tonight it's looked much more like, in fact, she was caught in the face there by one of the West Ham players by accident. It has to be said. It was a side, I think it was, as she went down. Yeah, she just caught on the side of the face. It was accidental. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt there. I don't think that Asai meant to kick Beth on the side of the head. I think it was just an unfortunate accident. But Beth's still down. I'm sure she's going to be okay. There's no blood or anything like that. She's just got a bit of a whack on the side of the head. But yeah, this is much more like the Beth Mead from a couple of years ago, isn't it? You know, she looks up for it. She's fighting for every ball, and she's shown really good qualities. And maybe, you know, it's coming back. I don't know. But anyway, let's just enjoy the fact that she's having a great game tonight, and I'm sure that you know, she'll continue in this great form. It's good to see Daphne now is getting some words there from, I believe that's the goalkeeping coach, and I think that's you know what she's needed really after that early mistake. It's difficult for a goalkeeper, isn't it? It really is difficult for a goalkeeper, and you know, you haven't often got the opportunity. If you're an outfielder, if you're a striker and you miss a chance, the likelihood is very, very quickly you're going to get another chance, and you've got another opportunity to make it right and score. When you're a goalkeeper and you make a mistake, like in this particular game, Daphne's not had anything to do since that mistake, really, has she? So she hasn't had the chance to make up for it, and she hasn't had a chance to maybe get her confidence back. So that was nice there. The goalkeeping coach there giving her words of encouragement during that little break in play due to that injury there to Beth, who's now back on her feet again. And she's going to be fine. Of course she is. She's a tough little cookie, is Beth Mead. And she's back up on her feet again. And it's going to be... I'm not sure if it is a free kick to Arsenal, if it's a throw over on that far side anyway. Renee Slager's there on the bench is looking a little concerned. I don't think she needs to be too concerned. We've certainly responded well to going behind, but we were very, very sloppy again in the first 15 minutes here, wasn't we? Really sloppy again. And it is something that she needs to look at, Renee needs to look at and improve, because, yeah, you know, next week we're playing Manchester United and we can't afford to be sloppy in the first 15 minutes against them, or the game could be all over and done with, couldn't it? So we need to start better. Martin is now inside the box. Oh, she misses her kick there, actually, and that was quite fortunate because West Ham still had a little bit of space. The last thing we want to do is concede before half-time. We've played 41 minutes. It is still West Ham 1, Arsenal 1, and we've had to work hard to get ourselves back into this game. The last thing we want to do is concede another daft goal before half-time and have to do it all over again. Of course, we did score just before half-time ourselves, didn't we, on Saturday, which proved to be a really important moment in that game. But it's West Ham threatening here as we come down towards half-time. Again, Beth Mead's won the ball, although it doesn't really fall particularly kindly for her, but she's won it back again. And Beth Mead is having such a good game. It's the best. I think this is the best 45 minutes of football from Beth in an Arsenal shirt for a very long time. She's had moments in other games, but not a consistent 45 minutes. She's been brilliant. And it's her assist that got us the goal. Leslie Russo now trying to get clear over on that far side. But it's Sayek there. And it's run out for a throw to Arsenal. Can we get another goal just before half-time? Can we do it 2 games in a row? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Anyway, it is a throw down by the corner flag over on that far side, which Katie McCabe's going to take. She's going to launch this towards that near post. In fact, she doesn't. She just goes it short instead to Frida Marner, who holds off the challenge. And we didn't really make the most of that. Maybe we should have just lobbed it into, but no, Mariona across this time towards the far post, looking for the run in there of Beth Mead again, but the goalkeeper, Megan Walsh, comes out and grabs that cross. Bit better for Mariona that though, wasn't it? She's on the ball again now. Just plays a little ball forward to Frida Marner. And now Frida Marner, a little bit of space on the edge of the box. Frida Marner thought about a shot. Then West Ham got 2 or 3 defenders back in front of her very quickly, but she's kept possession over on that far side. It's with Katie McCabe, and now the throw's taken by Mariona Caitlin Ford, Mariona gets it back over on that far side. Can she line up a cross? Which she managed to find Emily Fox. Wasn't the most conventional ball, but Arsenal do keep possession. Kim Little threads that ball on there to Frida Marnham, and now Beth Mead. And Emily Fox has gone on the overlap. A great run. What's Emily Fox's cross like? Oh, it's over hit again. Some of the crosses have been funny. I was just saying that LG puts a comment there. Our deliveries have been so poor. Yeah, they have. Our crosses into the box have been terrible. I didn't think they were that good for most of the game on Saturday either. And tonight they've been really bad. Some of the crosses, we've been in some great positions. Emily Fox, they've got in a great position. And she just overhit that cross. And yeah, Best put in a couple of decent crosses tonight. But other than that, the rest of them have been really poor. Really poor. Anyway, Megan Walsh plays a poor clearance out, actually, but Emily Fox just gives it straight back, and then Beth Mead wins the ball back. She's on a mission tonight, Beth. You have to say, wow, Kim Little now bringing the ball forward, twisting and turning on the edge of the West Ham penalty, plays it back to Katie Reid, and she plays it square to Steph Catley. This is good from Arsenal, coming into the last minute of the first half. What a time to score this would be. We said that on Saturday, and it worked, didn't it? And it was Chloe Kelly's goal, of course. Chloe Kelly not in the team tonight with a little injury anyway. Frida Marnham, the Arsenal goal scorer. She's got 2 goals already this season. If you notice, most of the last couple of seasons, Frida started the season with a lot of goals in the first few games, and she's done it again, 2 in 2. I'm sure she scored in the first 2 games last season as well. Anyway, we come forward now on that far side. It is Caitlin Forbes had a fairly quiet first start, but she's going to come to life now. Gets a shot away. It's deflected. It's going to come to Beth Mead again. And that time, West Ham do manage to clear it away. We're not very far in as far as Emily Fox, Beth Mead again. Surely that's a foul, ref. Surely that's a foul. The referee says no, and now West Ham have got a chance for a counter-attack. Play a long ball forward up to Martinez. That's not a great touch, though. And Mariona steps in. There's going to be 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. 3 minutes. And it's been a bit of a mixed half for Arsenal. You have to say we started badly again. We had a good spell midway through the half, which brought about the goal. And we've not been great for the last 10, 15 minutes, have we? It's been a little bit huffy and puffy, not really creating too many opportunities and poor balls into the box. We've been the better team, but we haven't played particularly well, have we? We had that little spell in the middle of the half where we looked a lot better. And that's a good cross into the box there. Good defensive header by Emily Fox. And again, Arsenal can't really deal with that too well. And West Ham have had their moments. They've not really threatened to score, have they, to be honest? And the goal they did score was obviously a mistake. Anyway, Martinez tries to head that down, but Kim Little should be able to clear that away. A poor ball, though, isn't it? Really poor ball. And West Ham in possession now into the 2 more minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. And West Ham have given the ball away. Now Arsenal got a chance to break forward. That's a good ball up that far side. Can Arsenal make the most of this? Frida Marnham is the Arsenal goal scorer. Gets the ball in towards his near post. Oh, Leslie Russo couldn't quite get on the end of it. Maybe wasn't maybe the best delivery, although if Leslie Russo got a little bit quicker, she may have just nipped in front of the goalkeeper and finished that off. We're into the last 90 seconds of the first half. West Ham 1, Arsenal 1. So it's not been the greatest Arsenal performance, but, you know, sometimes away from home in the WSL, you're not always at your best and the conditions are tough. It's a difficult place to go. You need to find a way to win, don't you? And, you know, we found a way to get ourselves back into this game. And now we need to find a way to get ourselves in front in the second half, assuming we don't score in the last few seconds that remain of this first half. Little Cubby says, my workmate is one of the linos. What, the linos tonight? Really? Wow, that's incredible, that. Tell them not to flag us offside then. Send them a message at half time, say, let Arsenal get away with being offside. Especially when Stina comes on later on. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward for what will probably be our last attack of this first half. And the ball instead goes all the way back to goalkeeper Megan Walsh. And West Ham now may have, they're going to have one more opportunity into the last 30 seconds of this first half. And I say it's been a bit of a strange first half in many ways, I think. I think we haven't played brilliantly. But yet we've been the better team. We've certainly had much more possession. We've had much more corners. Joe says, I would imagine that Smith will be subbed on second half. Oh, absolutely. Steen will come on second half as well. You'd imagine Vicky Palova. Who else going forward? Now, this will be our last attack. Caitlin Ford over on that far side. Pulls it back. Leslie Russo tries to stab it towards goal, and Beth Mead couldn't quite get on the end of it. And that was a big chance there for Arsenal. That's probably our best clear opportunity of the game, apart from the goal. Really good football it was. Caitlin Ford, I think it was Mariona, played that ball through. Caitlin Ford there. Leslie Russo to the near post. Maybe should have left that for Beth Mead coming in behind her, actually. It was maybe the ball was maybe meant for Beth Mead's run. And the form she'd been in this first half, it may have been better for Leslie to have let that go. Anyway, Beth Mead maybe just saying that very thing to Leslie there. It's going to be an Arsenal corner, which, again, is a poor delivery, isn't it? But it's going to come all the way through. And there goes the half-time whistle. And it is West Ham 1, Arsenal 1. It's been a little bit of a strange half in many ways. Little Cubby says, Phoebe Horner, she's a teacher, is she? Well, she needs to be taught to let Arsenal be offside and not put your flag up. Jerry says, Ford needs to come off at half-time for Olivia Smith. I mean, she hasn't had a great first half, Caitlin Ford, but I don't necessarily blame her individually. I don't think the team, the way we've played, has really got anything out of her. Anyway, it is half time. It could be a lot worse, couldn't it? Let's be honest. We were losing after 5 minutes, and we have got ourselves level. So, you know, it's not as bad as it could be. Little Cubby says she's a City fan. Is she? She's a City fan, and she's allowed to be a liner at an Arsenal game. Not sure about that anyway. Joe says, I've been keeping an eye on Leslie, and she looks a bit leggy. Yeah, I don't think she's had a good start to the season. I said that earlier. She's nowhere near her best, is she? In fact, when you look at it, realistically, I don't think any of our players have looked at their best yet this season. Really, I don't think so. But, you know, is it because of a tournament in the summer? You don't get much of a pre-season or as much of a pre-season. I don't know. I mean, Frida's had a decent start, I suppose. Obviously, Beth's had a decent start to the season. But other than that, I don't think anyone else has really stood out and said, they're at their best, playing their best football. I don't think anyone really is, unless he's off her game. Caitlin's not playing that well. Mariona, as we've said, and Kim Little are not on their game at all. I mean, Katie McKay's been okay. Steph's been okay. Emily Fox has been okay as well, but they're not. None of them are at their best, are they? Katie Reid's been. I mean, it's difficult to say what Katie Reid's best is because she's not played very many games as a very young player. But I mean, she's done okay, and obviously we know Daphne's not had a great night tonight. Really, I know she hasn't had much to do. And No says first half thoughts. Well, yeah, it wasn't a great first half, was it, from Arsenal? Really, overall, we had some good spells, a terrible start, and we didn't finish the half particularly well. And we had a half decent middle section where we got the goal. We had one or two other opportunities, but yeah, our final ball hasn't been good enough. Our crossing's been poor, and these are things that, you know, we are going to have to improve in the second half if we are going to get the win that we need. It could be a lot worse, but yeah, we haven't played particularly well, I don't think. But it's certainly an interesting game. It could still go either way, couldn't it? Let's be honest. Ag says, hey, I can see the match on YouTube. Yeah, but don't watch it there. Stay with us. Don't be silly. Come on. Better next half. Yeah, I hope it's going to be a better next half as well. Little Cubby says, not a PE teacher. Oh, really? Okay. What does she teach? Let me guess. History or English? English. I reckon English. Most English teachers like a bit of sport, don't they? So I reckon she teaches English to me. 110 volts. I don't think Mariona likes the weather. No, maybe it is the weather. I don't know. She's not happy about something. It's not quite working, is it? Andy Weber says, following from Nairobi. Oh, good to have you with us, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I'm sure the weather's better in Nairobi than it is in London currently, as it's absolutely chucking it down with rain. John says, looks like the rain has stopped. I think that'll help us have better crosses and shots. Ball was too slippy before. Yeah, but the pitch isn't going to dry out, is it? The surface is still going to be wet. And because we've had a lot of dry weather for quite some time through the summer, when it first starts to rain after it's been dry, the pitch gets really slippy, doesn't it? And I don't think that's going to change just because the rain stops. It's going to still be a slippy surface, isn't it? But anyway, let's hope that we do better in the second half. Ag says, Mead, yeah, Mead's been brilliant, absolutely. Nazo gives a clap. Hang on a minute. Drama. Where are we? Let's put out a drama teacher. Really, that's not a proper lesson, is it? I can't believe they actually. I always used to think when I was at school. Obviously, it was a long time ago. But when I was at school, I always used to wonder, why do we learn drama? That's not a proper lesson, is it? You know, we don't learn enough of proper stuff that we need to know, and yet you get drama and art. You don't need to learn if you want to learn any of those, or not really learn. If you want to do those things, then they should be things that you go to uni for or college later on. Don't teach them at school. I mean, drama. Come on, what's that all about? You know, prancing around on the stage. Just wait till you want to do it later on. Don't have us doing it. I used to hate drama at school. It's like woodwork. I don't know if they do that anymore, probably not, but we used to have like woodwork at school. I think, well, I don't want to do, if I want to do woodwork, I'll go to college when I finish school. I don't want to be doing it at school. I want to be learning things like history and geography and English and maths and, you know, obviously sport and PE and stuff like that. That's all I wanted to do, mainly sport. But you know, I didn't want to learn French. I didn't want to learn German. I had no interest in that. I didn't want to do that sort of stuff. Why do we insist on teaching stuff like that? Teach us life skills at school. That's what we need. Don't need drama, do we? There's enough drama in the world as it is without being taught it at school. Joseph, do you think Renee will make changes at half time or wait until 65? Well, I don't think she'll make changes at half time. No, I don't. I think it will. I don't know if it'll be 65. I think it depends on how the game goes in the second half, but it will certainly be 60 minutes. I reckon at least. I don't think there'll be subs before 60 minutes. Let's put it that way. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe she will. Maybe she'll surprise us. John says that'll be annoying. Andy says the weather is great here. Moon is shining. Yeah, where do you go? You see, some people get it all, don't they? Nice weather, beautiful scenery. We're stuck here with rain and not really nice. But anyway, we love it even so, don't we? Little Cubby says she's lovely. Oh, no, I'm sure she's lovely, yeah. But she'll be even more lovely if she keeps her flag down when Stina comes on. Then I'll love her even more. Little Cubby says, I'm not. There's nothing wrong with being an artist, don't get me wrong, but it's not something you should teach kids at school. It's something you could do when you leave school if you want to go to college and stuff. I'm sure you did. You know, that's when you should learn all that sort of stuff. Not, you know, we used to do like, what was it we had? Some in art, we used to do this. What was it called? I can't remember now. But I used to think, what is the point of me doing this? I'm never going to need to do this ever. And I've never, a bit like after the math stuff that we do, algebra. I've never actually used algebra in my life. I've never actually used the Pythagoras theorem, whatever that was. You know what I mean? It's like an absolute waste of time. Just teach us the important things that we need in life, and then we might all get somewhere. No wonder there's people that can't even, you know, can't read and write because they teach us less important things at school. That's the problem anyway. We could talk about the education system all night and they wouldn't get us anywhere. Colin says, remember the second half of the return leg against Real Madrid, 2 down unless he scored 4, no 2 this and that. Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. And Real Madrid West Ham aren't quite as good as Real Madrid, are they? Let's be honest. 110 Volt says a pitch is much smaller than the Emirates, just trying to find an excuse for all the overhit crosses. Well, that is true. That is a much smaller pitch, but then it's a very similar ground actually to Meadow Park, isn't it? And it's a very similar size pitch to Meadow Park. So we should be used to it, shouldn't we? Really. But it is smaller than the Emirates, and we'll use that as an excuse for now. Egg says English is good to learn. Well, English is good for you to learn, obviously. But we speak English, so we don't need to learn it, do we? Really. Because it's our language, naturally. Maybe we should all learn Swedish. Maybe that would make us better, wouldn't it? Little Cubby says, use this information. There are more Arsenal fans at my school than any other club. Well, of course, because Arsenal are the biggest club in the world, aren't they? So, of course, there's more Arsenal fans everywhere, in every school, than there is any other. I mean, that's not useless information either, actually. It's important information. It's what we all need to know because it just proves the point that we're the biggest club. Ag says, kids of today need to learn democracy. Well, that would be a good lesson, wouldn't it, Ag? It would be a very good lesson. And they need to learn respect and stuff like that as well, don't they? Manners and respect would be a positive as well. But anyway, not to worry. We didn't see when I was younger. Obviously, I'd say it's a long time ago, but things like discipline and respect was taught to you at school. It was taught to you at home, and it gave you a totally different aspect on life. Really, didn't it? It did for me. You know, you get to know what's right and wrong. You get to know what your boundaries are in life and stuff like that. And I think that's good. Little Cubby says, you're not leaving many subjects. Well, no, I mean, maths is important. I don't think all the maths that we learned was important, but I think general maths, you know, adding up, taking away, dividing, and all that kind of stuff is important. We need to know that. So I think that's important. Obviously, we need to learn about reading and writing, which is English. I don't mean English language. English as a lesson is important. I've done a lot of that. You know, I've studied journalism and stuff like that, so I've studied a lot of English. But that's not, I don't mean English language as how we speak it and stuff. I mean more, you know, reading and writing, that kind of stuff is important, isn't it? PE obviously is really important. We should spend 50 to 60% of our school day doing PE, I think. Outside in the fresh air, running around, that exercise, that's more important. I think nowadays computer studies is probably important. Learning where around computer systems and stuff like that, that's probably important as well, isn't it? That's all you really need, isn't it? Let's be honest. The rest of it, a bit of history, but the history in school, I think, is very propaganda based. It isn't necessarily based on always on facts, and it's only a certain side of history they want you to learn. I would like to see history opened up a bit more, but you have to learn a bit of history, obviously. Geography is fairly important. You need to know where things are in the world. For example, our friend from Nairobi, you know, if we didn't do geography, we wouldn't know where Nairobi was, would we? And some people in the chat probably don't. So that's a lesson for you. Go and find out where Nairobi is and then come back and let us know. Matthew says, I learned the maths to teach your kids. Well, yeah, no, you learn, yeah. To be honest with you, I think we learn more by living life than you do by being in school or college or university. More important things you learn from living your life, don't you? Life experiences, that's what counts for me. But anyway, little cover. Oh, you mean the teaching staff is more Arsenal? Oh, is it? Okay, that's cool, isn't it? See, again, it just goes to show it. But you see, teachers are slightly more intelligent. That would explain why there's more Arsenal fans that are teachers, because everyone knows you're more intelligent if you're an Arsenal fan. So, you know, I suppose that's obvious, really. 3.124 Mashal. Is that's pi, isn't it? I see. I know that. It's not useful, but I know it. Just because, again, I went to school probably the same time as you, maybe. This is a philosophically, is that a word? See, English there, you see. I don't know English, but there you go. You're probably right. I'll give you that. John says, college evening classes and apprenticeships for things like wood. Oh, hang on, sorry, the comments disappeared. Woodwork, metalwork, art, etc. Kids need to be taught the things they need to earn a living. No, but yeah, I think for college, yeah, not really for school. I think at school you need to learn the basics really, and then stuff like respect and discipline and how to manage your money and things like that, and bills and that kind of important things. Yeah, you need to learn your skills. But you know, when you're 12, 13, 14 years old, most people probably don't think, well, actually, I want to become a carpenter when I leave school. I want to become this, that, and the other. You don't really know, do you? So you just muddle through school, you pick up bits and pieces here and there, and then you decide, you leave school and you decide, right, okay, I'll get a job doing this and doing that. And then most people don't have a plan, really, do they? If you do, you've got the opportunity when you leave school, haven't you, to go and learn those skills and become whatever you want to be, a plumber or electrician or whatever it is you want to become. And they're great things to do. And I would recommend people do that. Get a trade behind you, because then you're never going to be out of work. If it's a trade like electrician or a plumber, people are always going to need them, aren't they? You know, so they're definitely worth. It's definitely worth learning that. Not at school, but after school, definitely go and learn that. Absolutely, and I think you'll be all right there. Little cover says, I hate maths. See, I used to quite like maths. I used to quite like English, the writing of English mainly. But yeah. Ag says, you are the land of Shakespeare and Dickens. Absolutely, yeah. You see, the best again. You see, the best literary masterpieces are from England. So you know that's what you need to do. Get involved in all of that. 110 Volt says, Katie Reid just got 4 A's at A-level. Well, there you go. You see, so but she doesn't. See, she's one person that doesn't need it because she's going to be a success as a footballer, and then she'll probably go into a coaching later on. So you know, if you're good at sport, you can kind of get away with not necessarily. I know these days it maybe looks a bit differently, but you know, I think if you're good at sport and you've got a natural ability in sport, you don't really need to learn anything else. Do you? Just concentrate on your sport and become brilliant at it, and you'll end up with a great life probably. Anyway, Ryan says, need our ballerina for the second half drama. Oh, we'll definitely get her. She'll definitely be coming on. There's no need to worry about that. Little Cubby says, you're really funny tonight. I'm really funny every night actually, but you know, except for no, Phoebe's all right. We love Phoebe. We love her more in the second half when she keeps her flag down. When Stina comes on, Ag says, Stina, come on and score. Oh, she'll definitely come on and score. Sorry, where are we there? We've got Egg says, you have Oxford. Exactly. See, the best literary, the best intelligent minds come from England. Don't worry about that. Although we haven't got IKEA. We didn't invent IKEA or Volvo, did we? So, or Steiner, Blacksteadier. So, we've got a little bit of work to do still. But there you go. Joe says, I was too young to learn when I was at school. I needed to be taught when I was in my 20s. I would have understood it. No, exactly. Yeah, this is the point, isn't it? We learn, when we were young, we learn loads of stuff that we never going to understand. I agree with that. Absolutely. I was the same. I used to find school not boring. I quite enjoyed being at school, but I found the lessons quite boring because they just didn't hold my attention. Very few lessons did. Obviously, PE and sport did. I couldn't wait to do that. But everything else, yeah, I found it a little bit boring, if I'm honest. And just wanted to go out and play football or ride my bike. Really, that was pretty much what I wanted to do, and go running. Colin says, from age 5, I wanted to drive trucks and spent my working life driving. We see, that's great, and I love that. I mean, to be honest, when I was young, what I wanted to do was drive a train. I wanted to drive trains. Oh, Steena's on at half time, guys. Steena is on at half time. Steena is on at half time. How good is this? Now, is it Leslie Russo that's gone off? My guess would be it is, because she didn't look herself, did she? I don't think she's fit. Oh, it's actually Frida that's gone off. Wow, Frida's gone off. That's a bit of a shock, isn't it? So we're actually playing 2 strikers. We're going for it. Well done, Renee. I love Renee. There's a perfect job for everyone, but 90% of people are not in it. Hey, you're right there, John. I agree with 100%. There is definitely a job for everyone, and most people aren't in the job. I'm not. I must admit, I could be doing much better things that would be more suitable for me. You're absolutely right. I don't know if there's a perfect job necessarily, but there's certainly better jobs for me than I've been doing. Apart from this, of course, obviously. Egg says, we must recognise that all can contribute. Absolutely, everyone can contribute to society, yeah. Matthew says, Steena's come on, she has, and now we're all happy, aren't we? Little Cubby says, if she pulls her flag on Steena, she knows what's coming on Monday. Well, put it this way, I'll be having words. I'll be having words with her if she puts her flag up against Steena. I will be having words. Tell her. Send her a message now. Say, oi, get your flag down, Phoebe. Don't be silly. Egg says there, but we had Alfred Noble, a man who started IKEA. Well, there you go, yeah, IKEA, you see? Brilliant. Anyway, also coming forward now, it is Steena over on that far side. She's getting 45 minutes. Well, it must be a happy day for her. It must be a bank holiday. Terry says, even if it's all in the chat, I wanted to be an astronaut, but I was too thick. Well, you don't need to be clever to be an astronaut, do you? Because it's full of like air. Well, you don't need to be clever, do you? It's sitting on a rocket, floating about. You don't need to be clever to do that. Yeah, you'd have been fine, mate. You'd have absolutely smashed it. Joe said, Steena's on, indeed. Oh, you put Sting, it is Steena, yeah. Little cover. No, I look forward to that, actually. I'd love to meet Phoebe, and I'll have a nice chat to her. I'm sure she is lovely, as you said, but we're going to love her even more in the second half, aren't we, when she keeps that flag down. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward. It's still a bit of a scrappy game. Oh, suddenly Steena might be in here. Oh, it was a poor back pass, actually. I think that was Sayek. And the ball's gone out of play. No, isn't it? It's kept in. The camera angle's not particularly great here, is it, on this near side? It's a bit like Meadow Park, isn't it? The stand is so close to the pitch that you can't get the camera down to get a good view of it. Anyway, Mariona now in a very deep position again. Plays the ball forward. We're playing with 2 strikers. It's unusual, isn't it, these days, to see a team with 2 strikers. It's great, though. Although Steena seems to be going a bit wider anyway. She's getting herself after this ball. Beth Mead again puts the work in and doesn't quite get it that time, and then she wins it. But look at that, that's brilliant from Beth. Now it's fellow here too. Kim Little gets a cross in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Sayek again, I think it was, and West Ham clear away. Now Arsenal started the second half much better than we started the first half. Let's see if we can get the goal. Steph Catley now brings the ball out of defence. Arsenal playing with a little bit more kind of bite and pace about us, really. And we need to do as well, didn't we? Because that first half wasn't great, was it, overall? I think we all agree it wasn't a great first half, but we managed to dig ourselves out of the little hole we were in, and now we need to find a way to turn it around completely. Anyway, the ball's now back with Daphne Van Domselaar, whose mistake it was, of course, gifted West Ham that early lead, but she's not been tested at all since. Well, I've got no problem with her. I know that she'll still do a great job if she's needed. She'll still make. I'm sure she'll make one good save in this game when it's needed as well. Although West Ham haven't had a shot on target in this whole game. But anyway, they're coming forward now. Everyone is near side. But Kate McCabe's across there. The tackle on Uki there. It's gone out for a throw to West Ham. But much better start to the second half from Arsenal. We just playing with a lot more pace, really, and a lot more, I don't know, energy. We seem to be lacking a bit of energy in that first half, didn't we? At times. but we're looking a lot more lively now. You know, West Ham are coming forward though. Cross comes in, it's well blocked actually by Mariona. The cross does come in, but it's not a great cross. And this time, Daphne handles the ball. That was lower on the ground, but good hands from the goalkeeper. That's important as well, because that's the first thing she's really had to do since that mistake early on. And the rain has stopped, and although the pitch is still very, very skiddy, and it might favour Stina actually. I think you can see why they brought Stina on so early in this game, because Stina's strength is running in behind that defence. That's the one thing we didn't do in that first half enough. You know, we're coming forward now. We've won the ball well. That's a lovely ball played through. Stina over on that far side. She's going to have to get the cross in. She does get the cross in. It's deflected behind. It's going to be a corner. And already Stina's made an impact in this game. And is that Beth Mead's gone down with a little injury there? Let's hope she's going to be okay, because I say that was her best 45 minutes in an Arsenal shirt, I think, for a long time. You know, she's back on her feet again, Beth. She's certainly not going to want to go off, is she, with a game that she's been having. You know, the referee's got a yellow card out. I'm assuming it'll be for that tackle on Beth Mead in a build-up to that last attack. And it is who's been put there? It's a West Ham captain, Katrina Gorey, with the yellow card. You know, it's a corner to Arsenal again. It must be our 6th or 7th corner in this game. This one played short over on that far side. It's a better angle now. Comes to Beth Mead on the edge of the box. Oh, she couldn't quite get the shot away. That's a lovely ball out to the far side. Mariona, can she get the cross in? She does get the cross in. It's flipped on that near post and headed wide by Leslie Russo. It was. Maybe she needed to flick it on behind her rather than flick it towards goal from that angle. But that's just better from Arsenal. It's a much better start to this second half. 5 minutes where we're in. It's still West Ham 1, Arsenal 1, but Arsenal are on the front foot here. And I say with 2 strikers on the pitch. Stina has scored in this fixture as well in a 2-0 victory. And she got an assist actually last year for Rosa Kafaji, didn't she? So she's got a pretty decent record on this ground, Stina Blackstenius for Arsenal. West Ham trying to cut them forward, but that wasn't a good ball. Emily Fox cuts it out, finds goalkeeper Daffy, and then gets it back. And suddenly Arsenal going from defending to attacking. Where West Ham actually closed us down pretty well. And the ball does end up back at the feet of Daphne Van Domslar. She scoops it out to this near side, Katie McCabe. This is nice from Arsenal. If we can actually build get an attack for this, that was a poor ball though. Again, you see, looking for Caitlin Fall, she's just not got in the game. Ryan says, let's do something with these corners. Yeah, let's do something with the corners. I mean, they've been poor, haven't they? Let's be honest, they've been really poor. Anyway, Stina just closed down the goalkeeper, Megan Walsh, and it's led to a throw for Arsenal over on that far side. Terry says, told you we should have got rid of Russo and kept Ajime. That's a good one, yeah. Anyway, let's see. The ball's in the box now. This is good play. And Stina's in. And Stina scored, as she always does. And Arsenal are in front. And Stina and Russo linked up well there. And that was a very, very well-worked goal. Stina does what Stina does best. I said she's got a good record on this ground against this team. And she's done it again. So it's 2-2 for Frida, 2-2 for Stina. And the Vikings have come up with a goods for Arsenal. That's a lovely finish, actually, from Stina. It was Mariona's ball. Leslie Russo's back heel. Stina steadied herself, fired it into that far corner. That's a really good goal, actually. That is a really good goal. Brilliantly worked. And it fell to Stina, and that's what she does. That is what she does. And I said, I think 2 years ago, that if Stina played every week, she'd win the Golden Boot. She's got 2 goals in 2 games and she's only played, 12 minutes of football. There you go. Joe says she scores the goal. She does score the goal. LG says, now bring on Liv to kill the game off. John's gone goal. Royston says 2-1. Indeed, 2-1. Brilliant back heel from Russo. It was a lovely goal, wasn't it? It was well made, well finished. And of course, Stina Blackstenius is the goal scorer supreme. And, you know, no matter what anyone says about Stina, you know, I said last night, I think her all-round game's really improved. And obviously she's shown there that she's still not going to lose those goal-scoring instincts. Get her in those positions and she'll score. She tucked that away lovely, didn't she? And from 1-0 down for the second game in a row, Arsenal have turned it around. We are now 2-1 up. LG says she played every week in the 22-23. Says no, in the league she did, but I mean she scored 18 goals overall, didn't she? Including goals in finals, semi-finals, big European games. In the WSL, she scored 8 goals, yeah, but she scored 18 in total for the season. Royston says that's the plan this season: give other teams a goal start, and then come back and beat them. I think our girls are showing off like Champions League winners. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. Terry says bloody Stina has stayed Slegger's job again. Yeah, well she has, or has she? Because West Ham trying to come forward again and respond. And now Stina actually on the counter attack. She's going to have a run at this West Ham defence. She needs a bit of help. Or maybe does she need a bit of help? Maybe she doesn't. She's going to go all on her own. Now she's found some help with Leslie Russo. And Leslie Russo's shot's blocked. He's going to come inside the box. And it is a third goal, but there's an offside flag is there. Caitlin Ford saying, hang on. What are you doing? What are you doing, Phoebe? Why have you got your flag up? What are you doing? Look, there she is. Look, what is she doing? Have a word with her. Come on. That was a terrible decision. Right, that's it. She's off my Christmas list now. Let's have a look and see if she's got it right, actually, though. See, that's come off the West Ham player. That should be a goal, that. Yes, she was offside, but it's come off the West Ham player. So that's a bad one there. You'll have to have words with her, Zoe. Come on, have words with her at the weekend when you see her, because that's terrible. Tell her what we're after her now. If we don't win this game, it'll be because of that terrible, terrible decision that she just made. Frederick said, Stina, indeed, good old Stina. Anyway, the goal was disallowed. It is still 2-1. And you do feel as though if we get a third goal, we will go on and get a few more. This game's that kind of balance now, isn't it? We've had a good start to the second half. We've got ourselves a goal, but you do feel as though the next goal in this game, if we get the third one, that's it. We'll go on and win comfortably. If West Ham somehow managed to sneak another dodgy goal, who knows? Little covers. I'm not watching this. I don't know. No, I know it was her because the other linesman's a man. So unless Phoebe's got the wrong name, it was definitely her because it was the woman with the flag up and the man with the flag up's on this side. That's doing the West Ham attack. So it's definitely her. So you're not getting out of it. Your friend was wrong and she needs to be told. It was definitely her. There's only one woman lino. There's a woman lino and a man lino. So, and it was her. So there you go. It's definitely her. She got it wrong. So I have to tell her. Text her now. Actually, tell her she can come on the show. We can have a discussion about it. we can put her right. We can put her right and explain the rules of the game. If it comes off a defender, it's on the side. So we'll write that down in big letters for her because she's a teacher, so she won't be able to read very well. And then, especially she's a drama teacher. So yeah, we'll write it down on a bit of paper for her in big letters, and she can colour it in later. Colin says, "Good job, Terry. Didn't sell Leslie Russo." Well, yeah, absolutely, it was a good job. Yeah, lovely back heel for the assist on that goal. And Arsenal in front here in East London. Beth Mead maybe been a bit quieter at the start of the second half, hasn't she? Than she was in that first half, and she was absolutely brilliant. Anyway, she chips the ball forward. She's going to get another assist. Mariana Caldente gets the ball into the box, and Caitlin Ford was in there again, and the goalkeeper Megan Walsh was out quickly. Little Cubby said, well, she likes a bit of, well, she would like a bit of drama, yeah. She wouldn't have a job otherwise, would she? Let's be honest. And I think Caitlin Ford was offside there. She didn't put a flag up. She was offside. She didn't put a flag up. See, she's got two things wrong now. I think we've got in her head. That's why. I think she's going to get everything wrong now. I think that's it now. That's her game over. She's made one mistake and she's just going to make more and more and more. And that'll be it now. Anyway, it's a throw to West Ham over on that far side. 57 minutes played. It is West Ham 1, Arsenal 2. And it's been a good start to the second half. Of course, it would have been because Stina came on. So, of course, she's made a difference, as she always does. And it is her goal that separates the teams. She got an important goal on Saturday. She's got another important goal tonight. But now West Ham are coming forward. This game isn't won yet. Oh, this was really good play, actually, by Uki on that near side. And good crossing, well headed out, actually, by Kim Little. And now Arsenal can complete the clearance. But West Ham do pick the ball up again. Little Cubby says it's her first season in the WSL. Well, it might be her last if she carries on like this. West Ham play the ball out of play. And it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. See, the linesman on this side, this guy, he got that right there. He put the throw to Arsenal. He got it right. One decision he's had to make in the second half. He got it right. there you go. So poor old Phoebe's, she's going to be in trouble with the FA, I think, for this terrible performance tonight. We'll give her like 2 out of 10 to 1 out of 10. We'll give her. Terry says Arsenal lead a massive clear out. Yeah, we do. Oh, now Caitlin falls in, and this time she's onside on this near side. Can she pull the ball back? Beth Mead's in there. Pull it back to Beth Mead. Oh, Beth couldn't quite get enough of a touch on it there to put it into that far corner, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But that was nice play from Arsenal. It was definitely onside. And Caitlin Ford's ball found Beth Mead as well. She couldn't quite direct it. It would have been very similar to Chloe Kelly's goal at the weekend, actually. It was Beth Mead coming in, but she couldn't quite direct it into the corner. David says Stina is so clinical. She is, and she's just amazing. So, you know, the fact that she's a clinical goal scorer as well is even better. You know, West Ham now trying to come forward. They've had a good spell in the last 5 minutes here, West Ham, actually. It's Martinez's ball. It's blocked. And Kim Little picks it up for Arsenal, finds Mariona. I want a third goal, actually, because every time West Ham come forward, I start to get a little bit worried. It looks like Man City have equalised at home to Brighton, and it's Bunny Shaw with a header at the far post. And it was a good cross, actually, and Bunny Shaw it is that's headed it in. They'd be lost without Bunny Shaw, wouldn't they, Man City? Of course, they did lose their first game, so if they only draw tonight, then that puts them pretty much out of the title race. A bit like us last season, wasn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. Mariona chips the ball over the top, looking for Caitlin Ford again, but she's not going to get there. See, what's happened in the second half is it wasn't the right decision to take Caitlin Ford off. You needed to get her in the game more, and that's what we've done. We've got her in the game more, and you can see how good she is. They're just showing this terrible decision by the linesman again here when Caitlin Ford scored. It has come off the defender, hasn't it? Yeah, because Stina kicked it onto the defender. So the ball hasn't been played forward. It's been played backwards. So, yes, there we go. We've seen it 3 times now. So she was definitely wrong. She's getting sacked in the morning. But I suppose she can fall back on her second job as a teacher, can't she? I suppose. So she'll be all right. We don't want to see her, obviously, on the dole or anything. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again. Again, it's going to be Caitlin Ford. Can she get there? Oh, that's a penalty, ref. Corner. Looked like it could have been a penalty. Maybe it should have been a penalty. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the replay. It was a lovely bit of play again from Arsenal, actually. Caitlin Ford, it was lovely 1-2. Look at that. That's brilliant play. That is such good play. Actually, no, the defender's got the ball first. We'll let her off. They're going to show another replay. I don't think that was a penalty. No, she's got the ball there, the defender. That was good defending, to be fair. She had to get that right, or it would have been a penalty. I think it was Sayek again. You know, Arsenal taking the corner short over on this near side. Comes back into Mariona, chips it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It is 3-1. Oh, it's there. And it's Caitlin Ford. She's had a good second half, hasn't she? Caitlin Ford nods it in. And the goal can't be disallowed this time. Even the rubbish linesman's kept her flag down. And it is. And now it's Liv time. Liv Smith is getting ready to come on. Jerry says VAR is needed. No, it's not. We don't want VAR. Joe says Mariona is pushing higher much more. Yes, she has done in the second half. There was her cross there. Matthew says that Smith looks like she's coming on indeed. Ryan says TOTA in the morning. Yeah, exactly. John says finally a corner that worked. Well, yeah, it sort of did. Yeah, it was a short corner. And in the end, the cross comes in for Mariona and Caitlin Ford heads it in. And Arsenal now surely have won this game. I don't think there's much doubt about that. It is 3-1 and we are, midway through this second half. Jerry says, get in, indeed. Joe says, yes. And that's fully deserved from Caitlin Ford. She had a brilliant second half. And Liv Smith is coming on. Beth's going off. I mean, Beth had a brilliant 45 minutes. Didn't maybe get in the game as much in the second half. But anyway, John says time for 3 more. Yeah, there's definitely time for 3 more. Ryan says top of the league. We are top of the league indeed. Terry says 40 indeed, 40. And it is 3-1. And Arsenal are currently sitting top of the WSL table tonight. And we'll be top tomorrow as well, because there's no more games till Sunday. And we're actually looking, if we can only start games stronger, you know, this would have been a really good start to the season. But I just worry a little bit that if this carries on, we'll be punished in against certain teams and we won't be able to come back and win. Anyway, Arsenal now bringing all the tricks. Kim Little there, a lovely little shimmy. Plays the ball out to the far side. Oh, the flag's gone up again. What are you doing, Phoebe? You are having a nightmare night, aren't you, really? That's against Liv Smith there, just come on. And what a great game she had, of course, on Saturday. No says they're well played, Bev, indeed. Bev did well. She did very well, yeah. Great game from Bev tonight, of course. No says first 2 games, 7 goals, indeed. Can't be better than that. Well, it can. We can score another 2 or 3 in this game still, can't we? Of course, ahead of next week's first big real test, isn't it? Man United away next week. And I think we're going to have to start the game better. We're going to have to defend better. But you have to say that the longer games go on, the stronger and stronger we get. The substitutes always make an impact. And at this moment in time, I have to say, I'm feeling pretty confident about our chances. I really am. West Ham are now making 2 substitutions. And who's going off? Henshaw's going off. The Austrian. And who's that coming on? It is Bellamu, and Martinez has gone off, and Pubel's come on as well. So that's the 2 substitutions there for West Ham. All very much in vain, I think, for them tonight. And they're going to start the season with 2 defeats, you would imagine, from this point on. And of course, Martinez, who did so well at the end of last season, yet to score in the first 2 games this season. But it's very early days, of course, still plenty of time. Stinger's already got 2 goals, as has Frida. Anyway, it's going to be a throw to Arsenal on this near side. And as we said, there is still time for more goals in this game for Arsenal. There's still 25 minutes left in actual fact. And that's plenty of time for a few more goals. Anyway, Arsenal looking completely in control of this game now. Again, a bit like Saturday, we had our struggles at times. We've definitely had some problems in this game. It's not been easy, but what we've done is we've found a way. And I said at half time, didn't I? These are the games where you're not playing well, you've got to find a way to win. We have found a way. We haven't won the game yet, but I think from this point here, it would be a massive shock if we didn't win this game, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Anyway, that's a lovely play there. Olivia Smith over on that far side. I couldn't quite get the better of the defender who's just come on, actually. So she's done well there. The 2 substitutes there. And the ball's kept in, and Olivia Smith is after that again, but it's a free kick against her. Not a bad start to her Arsenal career, is it, for Olivia Smith? Brilliant goal, player of the match against London City Lionesses, and now she's on the pitch again for match number 2. And it is Arsenal, West Ham 1, Arsenal 3 here at the Chigwell Construction Stadium, formerly known as Victoria Road, which is just up the road to where I was born, where I grew up. Lovely little club, Dagenham Redbridge. And of course now Andy Carroll, if you remember him, he's now, not only is he a player, he's part of the board, I think, as well, Andy Carroll at Dagenham. So, yeah, some exciting times ahead, maybe. Ryan says our XG must be about 12.8. It probably is. See, that's what you need maths for, stuff like that, you see. That's useful, isn't it? See, some maths comes in useful. It probably is about 12.8. The amount of chances that we've had. Anyway, the amount of goals we've had disallowed as well. Anyway, it's now a throw. Does that count? The disallowed goals count in XG? I'm not sure, actually, if they do. Because technically they should do, shouldn't they? Because it's a goal-scoring chance, isn't it? Well, I suppose because it's offside, it wouldn't count as a goal-scoring chance because it wouldn't be a goal if it went in. Anyway, I don't know. It should do anyway, shouldn't it? Let's be honest. Not that XG matters that much, if we're totally honest. Colin says, last Saturday was an early penalty that rocked us at the start. This week it was a goalkeeping error. Yeah, exactly. Well, it's 2 mistakes, wasn't it? It was a defensive mistake for the penalty that's on Saturday. It was a goalkeeping mistake tonight. We need to cut them out and then we'll be flying, won't we? Nud says, lots of warehouse jobs in Dagenham. Is Ford still going? I don't know. I don't think it is it? I don't think Ford's still going, is it, in Dagenham? When I grew up, Ford was the place. You talk about going to school, you needed to do at Dagenham was just go and work at Ford. It didn't matter what you did at school. You could always get a job at Ford's. Anyway, Arsenal coming forward again over on that far side. Livy Smith fires the ball into the near post, and Megan Walsh does quite well there to hang on to that. And there you go. Nose says, where are we? All that build up to be told no goal. Yeah, Terry says field tilt must be sky high as well. Absolutely, yeah. I love that field tilt. It's like playing on a hill, isn't it? The field tilt, it's like that. It tilts like that. What was that game used to be where you could tilt that thing, didn't you, to move the ball up and down? Do you remember what in the old arcades and that? That's what that field tilt reminds me of. Will says would like a clean sheet in the next game, but at least we're winning. Exactly. Yeah, I mean we need a clean sheet as well. And we're also coming forward again, and Stina Blackstone is trying to get in behind that West Ham defence. Good defending actually there from Zadorsky, of course. Shalina Zadorsky, the Canadian, the former Tottenham player. I thought she was Tottenham captain at one time, wasn't she? Anyway, West Ham gave the ball away, and then Stina was almost in, but couldn't quite get the wrong side there, could she? Nose says Little London Derby, indeed. We've had 2 London Derbies actually to start the season, haven't we? 2 London Derbies in a row. And it's going to be 2 lovely wins in a row as well. 2 good wins, 7 goals scored, 2 conceded. And this is the form of European champions, isn't it? This is the form of potential WSL champions as well. At the moment, things are looking really, really good in that sense, aren't they? And the fact that we've got substitutes, you know, we just brought on today Stina Blackstairs, we brought on Olivia Smith. You know, this just goes to show, doesn't it? Chloe Kelly's not even fit tonight to even be on the bench. You know, we've still got Vicky Palova on the bench. Taylor Hines, we haven't seen much of her yet. You know, this is Leah Williamson's out injured. Do you know what I mean? This is a strong squad, isn't it? This is a strong squad. And, you know, we played some nice football as well, exciting football at times. And Stina's trying to get in behind. She's done really well there over on that far side, Stina. But again, Zadorsky's come across and defended well. Very experienced player, of course, Shalina Zadorsky. And Caitlin Falls had a really good second half. Beth Mead was the player of the first half. And I think Caitlin Falls been the player of the second half, actually. It seems though every attack's come down this near side. Is the pitch better on that side? So we've avoided attacking down the other side too much. I don't know. Anyway, the ball's now back with Daphne Van Domselaar and Arsenal playing some football out of the back. Katie Reid. It's a good ball actually up that far side to Emily Fox. Finds Olivia Smith. And Arsenal now playing with full confidence. This is the football of European champions. Olivia Smith over on that far side. Oh, she knocked it past the defender there. That could have been another dangerous one. Anyway, it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Phoebe's finally got a decision right. 71 minutes, she's got a decision right. We'll have to write that down. And she can speak to the headmaster on Monday morning. Will says, champions of Europe, we know what we are indeed. And Little Cody says there, the other drama teacher used to teach Taylor Hines here in Northampton. Really? Wow, okay. Christ. There you go. It's all happening in your school, isn't it? You know, Arsenal now with Leslie Russo pulls the ball back towards the towards the penalty spot. Katie Ford couldn't quite get there, but she's got the ball now, touches it off to Katie McCabe, finds Caitlin Ford again now, Steph Catley. Now she finds Katie Reid. She's had a good game again, Katie Reid, you know, really, really composed at the back. I just saw a stat she's made the most forward passes or something in the game. Anyway, I was going forward again. Emily Fox finds Leslie Russo. This is lovely football. Livy Smith on the far side puts a good cross in, and it's defended well, pushed behind by Nystrom, and it's going to be another corner to Arsenal. This is great stuff. When we get our act together, when we play some football, we are a very, very exciting team to watch. Some of this football here was amazing, wasn't it? Lovely one-touch pass in there. Russo out to Smith over on that far side. It's a good cross actually as well. And Leslie Russo was coming in with it well defended. It's another corner to Arsenal. And when we play our football, I think we're the best team in the league. We're the most attractive team to watch. And there's still time. With 73 minutes on the clock. There's still time to get some more goals here. You know, it's short corner to the edge of the box. Chipped in by Kate. McKay's flicked on. Oh, and it's just wide. Was that Steiner there with a little flicked header? And it's just gone wide there. That was a clever corner, actually. In fact, no, Steiner couldn't get on the end of it. It's actually gone straight wide from Kate McKay's cross. Ryan says, will Leah get straight back in the team at this rate? Well, who would we leave out? Katie Reed's been brilliant. Terry says, can anyone tell me what all the fireworks are about tonight? Is there fireworks going on, is there? Anyway, another cross comes in. It must just be to celebrate Arsenal's great win. It's not firework night, is it? I can't see fireworks. Oh, is that the game? Is it fireworks at the game? Oh, I don't know. I just heard fireworks. It must be on the telly because it's not outside my house. Joe says, we're great at building into games. We need to start this. Well, no, exactly, yeah. That's the problem, isn't it? That is the problem. Anyway, it's another short corner. And that, again, it's going to be Mariona played at the edge of the box. Olivia Smith fires it in, and it's just gone over the crossbar. And that was quite neat and tidy football again from Arsenal, doing things a little bit differently. And now West Ham are going to make another substitution. It's going to be Manuela Rami's coming on for them. Again, it is going to be Pavi, sorry, and it is Nystrom's going off. And with 15 minutes to play, Arsenal are closing in on victory number 2 of the season. And Man City have turned it around as well. They are now 2-1 up. And it's a nice goal, actually. Well-worked goal. And that's a good finish. Can't see who scored that, actually. Anyway, it was a good little goal that for Man City. And they've turned it around there. Ryan says, early fireworks for top league. Yeah, maybe it's fireworks because, yeah, we're celebrating winning the league already. Maybe that's what it is. And why not? Anyway, Mariona now has come into this game in the second half, pings the ball out to that far side, looking for Olivia Smith, but she didn't quite get that one right. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. 14 and a half minutes to play. West Ham 1, Arsenal 3. And it's all come good in the second half for Arsenal again. Another really impressive second half. If we can somehow put this together and get the 2 halves in one game right, we'll be winning 8-10-0, won't we? But where'll be the fun in that? There'll be no fun, would there? We're better off going behind, making a game of it, aren't we? Keeps it interesting. It's not so good for the heart, but it makes the game more interesting, doesn't it? But once again, Arsenal looking a good team. I say once we get going, once we get that momentum built up. We saw that last season, didn't we? How many games last season did we score 3 or 4 goals in quick succession? And once we get our rhythm going, we're unstoppable is the word. And I think that's true. I think we are unstoppable when we get our rhythm going. The way you beat Arsenal is to stop that from happening, I suppose. That's what you need to do. And that's becoming more and more difficult, isn't it? Because of how good we are now. John says, get them into a full sense of security, then pull the rug on. Well, yeah, it's kind of what it's like, what it feels like, doesn't it? But yeah, once we're in our rhythm, we're a very, very good side. You have to say we are a really good side. Ryan says Arsenal like the drama, not as much as Phoebe likes the drama, but yeah, no, they do like the drama. Yeah, there's no point winning 7-0, is there? Let's be honest, that's just boring. Wouldn't you rather be 1-0 down and come back and win? It's more exciting, isn't it? As long as we win, actually, I'm not overly concerned how we win. I just feel as though if we start this slowly in games against better teams, Chelsea in particular, you know, we're not going to probably be able to come back. Anyone else coming forward again here? Caitlin Ford on this near side, inside the penalty, goes around the outside, plays it across the box. Oh, it was almost 4. Just went past that far post. Caitlin Ford's been brilliant in this second half. She really has. Maybe because she had a rest in the first half because she didn't really do anything. And now she's come to life and she's been brilliant. She scored, had one disallowed, almost scored again there. Fired that across the walls of far post. I'm not sure if that was actually, no, it was meant to be a shot. It wasn't a cross. It was meant to be a shot. Just pulled wide of that far post. And now Vicky Palova's coming on. And Taylor Hines. Mariona goes off. Much better second half for Marioni, you have to say. And Katie McCabe's going off and Taylor Hines is coming on. So that's another 2 substitutions for Arsenal, another 2 strong players from the bench as well. Little Covey says, poor Phoebe, wish I hadn't told you now. It's all a bit of fun. We love Phoebe, really. She can come home for dinner next week. It's fine. Colin says, this time last year, Russo was scoring every game. Yeah, now it's Dina and Frida scoring every game, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's going to be swings and roundabouts. We know Russo will have a good spell where she'll be banging in goals right, left and centre, I'm sure. You know, Vicky Palova's first touch is a good one. Finds Caitlin Ford. Oh, it's a lovely back heel. Taylor Hines. Oh, lovely play from Taylor Hines. Plays it into the box. This will be a great goal, but it didn't quite fall for Vicky Palova there. And it's cleared away by West Ham. A long ball over the top. And Steph Catley takes control of that. And Arsenal are playing some really, really good stuff in the second half, actually. Really enjoyable to watch. And again, a bit like Saturday, we could have scored a couple more goals at least, couldn't we? There's still time. There's still 11 minutes to play. There's still time to get at least one more goal. Katie Reid just wins her header there. That's lovely play there. Almost lovely play from Vicky Palova. Pulled the ball down out of the sky well, but then her second touch just ran away from a little bit. And West Ham have got possession. Anyway, just match stats are Arsenal have had 13 shots to West Ham 1. Arsenal have had 3 on target, scored 3 goals. That's not bad, is it? And we've had 62% possession. So I don't think there's any doubt we definitely deserve to be ahead in this game. We definitely deserve those 3 points. And quite why we had to make so much of a drama out of it, I'm not sure, because we've been much the better team. But anyway, it's the end result that matters most, isn't it? And obviously the end result is looking very, very, very much like it's going to be 3 points to Arsenal. As we now move into those last 10 minutes. And Arsenal are 10 minutes away from being top of the league again. We were top of the league last Saturday. We're going to be top of the league again this Saturday. Can't the season just finish now? Actually, no, because I'm quite enjoying it, so I wanted to carry on. But it's just nice to be top of the league, isn't it? So Chelsea have got a tough game Sunday away at Aston Villa. There's certainly no guarantee they can go there and win. They're going to have to play well, aren't they? Rendition says, I think KCC time at Arsenal is up, unfortunately. She's not getting on again, is she? Let's see. Not sure what's going on there. I mean, we've mentioned it before, haven't we? We talked about it on the show last night. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure what's happening there. But anyway, it's a long season. There's a lot of games. I'm sure she'll get minutes. I'm sure she'll get time on the pitch. And then that's when she's got to prove what's going on. Oh, lovely play there from Leslie Russo. She managed to get the ball through to Caitlin Ford. Plays it in first time. Oh, that's lovely play on the edge of the box from, was that Stina Blackstenius? Couldn't quite manage to get the shot away though, but really good play again from Arsenal. We have played some football in this second half. Stina's just won the ball back again, but Caitlin Ford couldn't keep it in. And what an impact from Stina Blackstenius. I think that second goal that the first goal that she scored, the second goal for Arsenal tonight, early in the second half, really did make the difference. And we said before, didn't we, like last week, once we get in front, you know, you can see the difference in the team, the confidence and everything else and belief. We just need to find a way to have that right at the start of a game when it's still 0-0. That's what we need to find. And then we ain't going to be there far away, are we? I don't think we're going to be far away anyway, to be honest. Yeah, it's a free kick to Arsenal. Emily Fox plays it back to Katie Reid. Katie Reid's had a great game again, actually. Wow, what a player she is. What a prospect she is. Well, Arsenal now have lost the ball. And suddenly there's a bit of a gap for West Ham. Good defending there. The shot comes in towards the edge of the box and Taylor Hines defends it well. Puts it out for a throw to West Ham. Again, we caused our own problems there by losing the ball when we really didn't need to. Anyway, West Ham now trying to come forward. We don't really want them to get a second goal now, do we? Because that would be a little bit more nervy than it needs to be. The cross comes in. Good defensive header again from Katie Reid. But Arsenal haven't cleared the ball away. And West Ham with a chance maybe to get a shot away. So now come out to this near side. Cross comes in towards the near post, but it's gone into the side net and gone behind for a goal kick. Actually, no, it must have been deflected by. It must be a corner. And suddenly, oh, Steph Catley, did she handball that actually in the box? That's what West Ham are saying. I mean, her arm was basically by her side. You can't give a penalty for that, can you? Anyway, it's a corner now to West Ham. 6.5 minutes left of normal time. Corner comes in again. It's a deep one. Good header again from Katie Reid. Surely that's a foul on the edge of the box. It is a foul on Olivia Smith. And she's got winded there, I think. Joe says Catley had. Well, it hit her arm, but I thought her arm wasn't. She didn't move her arm out towards the ball, did she? She was moving her arm towards her body. I don't really think you can give a penalty for that, if I'm honest. I think that would be really, really harsh. I think it's got to be, you've got to move, for me, you've got to move your arm towards the ball for it to be a penalty, not move your arm towards your body. I don't think you can give a penalty for that. It did hit her arm, though, absolutely it did. In the Premier League, they'll probably give it. Anyway, Taylor Hines, a nice little bit of skill there. Didn't quite come off for her, though, but she won the ball back. And now Kim Little is battling away. And then Caitlin Ford, who's been brilliant in the second half. It's quite difficult, actually. We're getting towards the time we're looking at player of the match territory, aren't we, tonight? Beth Mead clearly was the best player in the first half. Caitlin Ford's clearly been the best player in the second half. But has there been a player that maybe over the 90 minutes has had the biggest impact? There's an injury to an Arsenal player collided with the advertising board over on that far side. Steph Catley it is. And West Ham are going to make another substitution now. And it is Una Cyrus going off and Layla Wandela's coming on. She looks really young, doesn't she? Christ. Anyway, that's the substitution. They're in the last 5 minutes, and Steph Catley hopefully is going to be okay. She seemed like she slid into the advertising board over on that far side. Looks like it's maybe a knee problem there. Actually, she was pushed into the advertising board, actually, as you went to clear the ball. That wasn't a very nice challenge on her, actually, to be fair. That wasn't very nice at all. Hopefully she's going to be all right. Because these advertising balls at Dagenham are like concrete. I know they've got little sort of advertising banners on them, which give a little bit of protection, but they're basically concrete. You run into that like that, you get pushed into that, that's going to hurt. Anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal, and Steph Catley is back on her feet again, which is good news. And it's going to be definitely Van Domslaar to take it, which she does. Steph's still off the pitch at the moment, just getting the final bit of treatment that she needed. Arsenal currently down to 10 players. Or there could be an opportunity here, but Daphne's out of her goal quickly. And West Ham looking to try and get a second goal, which would make it nervy, wouldn't it? It would make it nervy. And you have to say, Daphne hasn't, luckily, Daphne hasn't had much to do since that early mistake. So you have to say now that's probably out of her mind. It was such a long time ago. And that's probably a good thing. She hasn't really been tested, but she comes out there and grabs that ball, showing a bit more confidence now. And that's good to see. I mean, of course, she's a goalkeeper. Goalkeepers make mistakes. She made 1 or 2 last season. Of course she did. That's the nature of the job. But anyway, Stina's after this ball again over on that far side. Goes back to the goalkeeper. Stina again is pressing. She does that so well, so full of energy. Now Caitlin Ford is pressing, and Arsenal trying to press high up the pitch, forcing a mistake from West Ham. But they actually play that well, West Ham. And then they've got a bit of space on this near side to come forward into. And at times, West Ham have played some nice football. They're playing some nice football here, but that wasn't a great ball. But West Ham have at times played some nice stuff. And you can see, you can see the improvements in the WSL all throughout the league, can't you? The fact that teams like West Ham can play football like they have tonight and compete as well as they have done tonight. In the end, Arsenal have been too strong. Of course they have. Anyway, there's another substitution now. Lotta Wubben-Moy. You imagine that's going to be for Steph Catley following that injury, which didn't look great, actually, did it? And it is Steph Catley going off. She had a good game against Steph, but unfortunately, she had an argument with a wall over on that far side. And Lotta Wubben-Moy is coming on. Be her first appearance of the season. Hopefully, Steph will be okay. She seems happy enough as she goes off there. And Lotta comes on for these last couple of minutes. Lotta and Katie at the back. Arsenal Academy has had a lot of success in both the women and the men's team recently. And it's good to see, isn't it? It's good to see when you've got your players coming through, playing for the first team, doing well. That's what you want to see, don't you? Anyway, this game has fizzled out a little bit in the last 5 minutes or so. The result has been decided for quite a while, certainly since Caitlin Ford headed in that third goal midway through this second half. The result's not been in doubt. It's just, could Arsenal have scored any more goals? We haven't managed to. Well, there's still time maybe for one more big finish. Another 4 goals can we manage? Taylor Hines now looked pretty lively since she came on as well. I thought she did well at the weekend when she came on as well. And she's got a little bit of space on this near side. Also a former Liverpool player. 2 former Liverpool players in this team. Caitlin Ford on this near side. Plays the ball back to Katie Reid. Another solid game at the back for her. Brilliant, in fact. Kim Little, the captain. Again, she's had a much better second half as well, hasn't she? After a fairly sort of average. Anyway, Olivia Smith now coming forward for Arsenal. Finds Russo on the edge of the box. Russo shot into the top corner. There is time for one more Arsenal goal. It's a Leslie Russo rocket. And Arsenal have sealed the points. And another 4 goals. Brilliant stuff from Arsenal again. And it was Katie Reid started that move, actually. Found Olivia Smith. Leslie Russo, a little bit of space on the edge of the box. The ball came to her. She steadied herself. Oh, that's got power in that shot there. She hasn't had a great start to the season, but she's got her goal scoring off and running. And what a way to do it as well. That's a brilliant goal. It's a 3rd Arsenal goal in this second half. And from 1-0 down for the 2nd week in a row, we've come back to lead 4-1, possibly win 4-1. Ryan says, yes, it's 4. Matthew says, Reid made that happen. Little was pointing back. Yes, she was actually, right. Reid says no and played forward. Joe says, what a goal. It was a great goal. And there's been some great goals tonight. John says, goal indeed. Matthew says, that's the best one so far. Oh, yeah, it probably is actually. Really good strike. David says, Russo opens her account. And Colin says, good job. Terry didn't sell Russo. It is indeed. And in fact, Russo's won the player of the match as well. Whether that was just because of that goal or maybe that goal just edged her in front, I don't know. She's been okay tonight, Leslie Russo. It wasn't great in the first half, but she's been good in the second half. Olivia Smith, who has been good. Surely that's a penalty, ref. Surely that's a penalty. And it is a penalty. Of course it is. There's going to be 6 minutes of stoppage time. And Olivia Smith has just been fouled in the box. And it's going to be a penalty to Arsenal. And Olivia Smith is now off the pitch. And she's going to need some treatment on the ankle there. And Arsenal got a chance for a 5th goal. Royston says Smith and Russo need to be promoted to the men's team. Great linking up for the 4th goal. And there's a penalty there for Arsenal. Olivia Smith did so well there because it looks as though the defender was going to just get in, but she just managed to move her body to one side to make sure that she got fouled. Really clever forward play. Matthew says Smith is going to win a ton of those. Yeah, you imagine she will. Anyway, it's going to be Leslie Russo to take this penalty. Is she going to get 2 goals in very, very quick succession for Arsenal in this game? And Arsenal could be on for a 5th goal. Be a 9th goal of the season already. And it's going to be Leslie Russo from the spot to finish this game off in the best way possible. Leslie Russo against Megan Walsh. Leslie Russo fires it into the bottom corner. It is 5-1. It's comfortable. It's been a good night's work in the end for Arsenal. And Leslie Russo's finished the game with 2 goals. She might even have time for the hat-trick, mightn't she? If we get the ball forward again. There's still, 4 minutes of stoppage time to play. Lovely penalty into the corner, actually. Ryan says hammered, indeed. Ag says we can go to sleep happy tonight, indeed. Royston says 1-5, indeed it is. And West Ham have been hammered here. And Arsenal looking like potential champions, looking like champions of Europe and potential champions. Anyway, Olivia Smith now running forward on it. Is she going to get a goal herself? Again, Olivia Smith cuts in field. The angle went away, and then Vicky Palova offered support, but we maybe didn't make the most of that one. We could have got a 6th goal, which would have been quite incredible, really. I say this is a ground where we've struggled in recent years to score, but not tonight. We've got 5 goals, could have scored a couple more, and there's still a couple of minutes of stoppage time left, and we've still got an opportunity on this near side. Stina on the far side, Stina running into the box. Does she want help? Oh, she's fired over. Caitlin Ford made a run into the box there, but of course Stina's going to shoot. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you shoot there? You don't get many opportunities on the pitch. She's been good tonight, Stina, since she's come on, got herself an important goal. That was the goal that put Arsenal ahead, and it's been one-way traffic ever since. Royston says, we always give other teams a goal start and then steamrolling them like the Champions League winners do for fun, indeed. Colin says, remember when Russo scored 2 in the second half against Real Madrid? Well, yeah, you did say that earlier, didn't you? And she's got 2 again in the second half here. And Arsenal got 5. And it's been a very, very good night's work for Rennie Slager's team. We're not only top of the league, but we're top of the league by quite a big goal-scoring margin at the moment as well. Maria says, what a player Russo is. Absolutely, yeah. She's a brilliant player. And she now joins Frida and Stina on 2 goals for the season. We're only in game 2. And we've got 3 players, who've scored 2 goals. That just shows the attacking threat in this team. And yes, defensively, okay, we've only conceded 2 goals and they've both been mistakes. And defensively, we haven't always looked great. And that's obviously the weak area of this team. But you have to say, with the attacking players we've got, does it even matter, really? I don't think it does. Royston says, I have a 24-year-old son. How old is Livia Smith again? Well, younger than that, I believe. And what a player she is. And we could get another goal here. Stina's trying to get him behind. Stina's got him behind. Another goal right at the death. And lovely ball play through. That's what Stina does well. Runs in behind. Her first touch wasn't great, actually, but she still almost rolled it in. The ball just ran away from it. In fact, it was a second touch, but she still got the shot away. Almost slotted it through the goalkeeper's legs. And it is a corner though to Arsenal into the last minute of stoppage time. We still could get a 6th goal. The corner comes in. It wasn't a great corner that time, actually. And West Ham clear it away. And now they're going to break away and try and get... They got the first goal of this game. Are they also going to get the last goal of this game? They've got an attack on here. Cross comes in. Cleared away well. Good defending. That's Katie Reid again, honestly. She has been brilliant, Katie Reid. 2 games in a row now. She's been outstanding. Vicky Plover now plays it up to Stina Blackstead. Can't quite manage to get the ball out to that far side. Joe says, let's have a Russo header for 6. West Ham a shot there. It's blocked. And they're coming forward again. West Ham a shot from distance, but that's going to go high over the crossbar. And in fact, there goes the full-time whistle. It has finished here in Dagenham. West Ham 1, Arsenal 5. And once again, it was a slow start. And we looked as though we needed something to kickstart the game again as we did at the weekend. This time it came with a goal from Frida to make it 1-1. And then in the second half, it all came good. Stina came on at half-time, linked up well with Russo, put us 2-1 up. We then got a 3rd goal. It was a header from Caitlin Ford from Mariona's cross from a short corner. And then, of course, those 2 late goals from Leslie Russo, the first of which was a fantastic strike from the edge of the box into the top corner. And then a penalty after Livy Smith, another substitute, was brought down. And yeah, we've almost forgotten about Daphne's rather bizarre own goal after just 4 minutes when she dropped a cross and it went in off the post and hit her other hand and went in. She looked a little bit stunned still, Daphne, but she'll be fine. Caitlin Ford had a good second half that got herself a goal. But it was a good Arsenal performance. The second half in particular was absolutely brilliant. And yeah, fantastic. John says, well, we defo had time for 3 more, but we'll take the extra 2. Exactly, we will. And we'll be satisfied with that as well. And yeah, it was a good Arsenal performance in the end, again, wasn't it? You know, if only we could find a way of starting games better, we would literally be incredible, wouldn't we? I mean, we're incredible enough anyway. And that's true. That's a good solid start to the season, that. A really good home performance and a really good away performance. 9 goals scored. And yeah, the team's starting to look gelled and a really strong unit now, a really strong team. Yeah, I still think the midfield is not quite, the balance isn't quite there with Kim and Mariona. But to be fair, once we get, as I said before, once we get our rhythm, once we get our flow, we're unstoppable. We are unstoppable. Yeah, we just need to start games better. Next week's a big test. Man United, of course, is going to be a tough game. We know that. But if we play like we have done in these first 2 games, we'll have a hell of a chance, won't we, of getting those 3 points again. Joe says, let's not have to go 1 down to start dominating. A good night, though. Great 2 games for goal difference, too. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we needed, you know. We needed a good start this season. The last couple of seasons, we've been poor in the first few games, and it's cost us everything. But this season, we've got what we needed. 2 good wins, 2 big wins. And now it's a great platform to go and push on now. Let's hope Aston Villa can do us a favour Sunday, and get a result against Chelsea. And that will give us a little bit of a buffer over them, which I think is important because we know Chelsea, they're a momentum team, aren't they, once they get in their flow. But we have started this season really, really strongly. And, you know, we need to follow up that Champions League, don't we, with a really good season. The way to do that is to go on and win the league. That's what we've got to do this season. And the first 2 games couldn't have gone much better, could they? Little Covey says, we are top of the league, so we are top of the league. Yeah, despite your friends' best efforts to try and stop it happening, we are top of the league. And it was a great second half performance in particular. Well, probably from, I don't know, the first half was a bit up and down, but that second half again, like Saturday, really, really good. And yeah, we are looking like the team to beat this season already. And I say Chelsea hopefully will drop some points on Sunday, and we can get some breathing space. But we have got a tough game next weekend. Remember, Manchester United away, never easy. Joe says, remember how miserable we were all this time last year? Better times indeed. Exactly. Exactly that. Volk says, Little Fox are using that inside channel. Yeah, to be honest with you, everything about this team just looks exciting, doesn't it? Yes, we may be not so solid defensively as we need to be. We need to work on that a little bit. I think the best defensive team tends to be the most successful over a league season. So we need to improve there. But the 2 goals we've conceded have both just been individual errors. And it's not like it's bad structure or bad play. It's just individual errors. So that can happen, and that's easy to put right. Easier to put right than the structure of the team being wrong and the reason why we're losing goals. So you have to say that's a positive, even though we want to look more solid. At times we don't. I think Katie Reid has been brilliant. You have to say, really, really good. And yeah, it's been a good night, a good start to the season, and Arsenal are flying at the minute. And yeah, the aura that we've got now from being European champions, I think that's another kind of bow to our arrow as well. I think teams are a little bit intimidated. Oh, hang on, Leslie Russo is going to be chatting. Let's listen to what Leslie Russo's got to say, shall we? Oh, I've just buggered up the channel. Christ, pressing the wrong button. It's because the remote don't work. Anyway, we'll forget that. We'll listen to that later. But yeah, it's been a great night. So we seem to have that aura now of European champions, don't we? And it's almost like what I say. Once we're in the game, teams just are scared of us a little bit. So yeah, it's been a great night. It's been a great start to the season. It has finished at the Dagenham and Redbridge Stadium, Chigwell Construction Stadium. West Ham 1, Arsenal 5, and that was despite going 1-0 down again. The goal scorers again, it was Frida Marnham with the equaliser before half-time. In the second half, it was Stina Blackstenius, Caitlin Ford, and 2 from Leslie Russo right at the end, including a very late penalty after Livy Smith was brought down in the box. And yeah, a very, very good night's work for Arsenal again. And we will go into weekend 2, top of the league. So it's going good, isn't it? It's going well so far. Thanks to all you guys for joining me, by the way. Some of the comments were brilliant, as always. Thanks to all you guys. You are what make this show what it is. John says the other team should be scared, including Chelsea. We're coming for them. Indeed, we are. We are. And we look like a team. We look like champions. We are champions. We're champions of Europe. Of course we are. But we now look like a team that can be champions of England as well. We've just got that air about us at the minute. especially, I mean, how frightening are we going forward? Well, some of that football we played again tonight, second half, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, thanks all you guys for watching. Thanks for all your comments as always. Please give us a like before you go, and don't forget, if you are new here, maybe it's your first time joining us, please give us a like as well. We're here for all the Arsenal women's stuff. We have all the games. We've got a show usually on a Friday. It's been on a Thursday the last couple of weeks due to other things. We'll be back on Friday again at a usual slot at 7:30 for the show next week. We're going to look back on this fantastic victory. Look ahead to Man United away as well. It's a Champions League draw. Wow. What a time to be alive, eh? John says, thanks, Rich, for the chat. It makes the game much more fun. No, thank you for joining me. You guys being in the chat, I'll be chatting to myself, wouldn't I? So thank you to all you guys for not only watching, but putting your comments in as well. It's one thing about this channel that I really enjoy is chatting to you guys as well where the game's going on. It's brilliant. Joe says, really enjoyed your commentary, Rich, and all the comments made it so much more fun. Exactly, and that's what it's about, isn't it? It's about you guys, really. You know, if you can't watch the game, and you want to come and join us and have a chat as well as we watch it, fantastic. If you can watch the game and you want to join us as well, even better. So yeah, it's been a great night. It's been fun again, as it generally is watching the women, isn't it? You know, you never get a dull. You very rarely get a dull game, do you? We don't win them all, unfortunately. We do lose a few, but generally there's lots going on. It's never dull, is it? And it wasn't dull tonight either, was it? That second half, wow, fantastic. Brilliant stuff. So thank you very, very much for joining me. Really, really appreciate it. We'll be back on Friday, of course, with the show. Matthew says, adios, Rich. See you always chat. Yep, see you later, my friend. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, we'll be back Friday, of course, with the usual show. Me and Andreas will be here. You guys will be here as well. We're going to say, look back on that game, look ahead to Man United, and I say it's Champions League draw as well. So we're going to look at that. And, of course, all your comments and questions, and I'm sure that will take the show in a totally different direction where it usually does, but we don't care. That's what we're here for. So it's in your hands. It's your show as much as ours. And if you want to ask questions about anything and talk about other subjects to do with other than what we're talking about, you know, that's quite what we want. So yeah, join us Friday up 7:30. Hope you've enjoyed it. What a great start to the weekend. A 5-1 away with Arsenal top of the league. Brilliant stuff. So yeah, of course, tomorrow lunchtime is the men's game. No doubt they'll ruin the weekend with some boring football, but don't worry about that. We'll be watching it. I'm not going to do a show because I can't be bothered with the men's team anymore at the minute. I just don't enjoy it. But we're watching the game, obviously. But we'll see you Friday. Yeah, brilliant stuff. West Ham 1, Arsenal 5. We are top of the league and we're going to stay there. Chelsea, you have got to catch us now. We'll be watching you on Sunday, dropping points at Aston Villa. That's going to be good, isn't it? So what a start to the weekend. Enjoy it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm sure you will. It's going to be a good one, and we are going to enjoy it as well. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you for your company. I will see you Friday at 7:30. Me and Andreas will be back with the big show, and you are going to love it, I'm sure. Do plan to jump in tomorrow. Okay, good stuff. Well, we'll be watching out for that as well. So you join us, I'll say, Friday for the show. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. Come on, you Gunners. We're there, top of the league, 5-1. Let's do it. Champions of Europe. And we're going to be champions of England. Come on, you Gunners. See you soon, guys. Thanks for watching.